You got to take your eyes off what you want to be looking at to be able to catch the ball. So that's something we've been working on, and we certainly need to continue to work on it and improve, no question.
And then listen to Jalen Milroe, cut 6 Rockstar. Now, this is team leadership right here. Milroe walks in. Now, Milroe does not – it's not Nerf football in my backyard. He does not snap it to himself. That's correct, right? We all agree on that.
That is true, yeah.
Here's Jalen Milroe.
Coach Saban talked about the snaps being a consistent issue. Is that something maybe you and Seth spend some extra time trying to clean up and work on in practice?
Yeah, I take full ownership of that. I should be more vocal, more louder, so it allows the snaps to be on point. So I take full ownership of that. Going to Mississippi State was a loud environment, and it took me being more vocal and at some points in the game, so that's definitely something me and Seth are going to get together about, it's not something to worry about. We're going to build and grow from it and learn from it.
Yeah, it's his fault, he says.
My bad. That is great leadership,
Yep.
by the way, because I don't think anybody blames Milroe. Now, the one really bad one against State was when Milroe looked like he was trying to check off, and for some reason McLaughlin snapped the ball. You don't know what happens. That actually could have been on Milroe. But the ones that are high and low, I don't see how it's his fault. And I do think it's good leadership for him to take the blame and not roll the center under the bus.
For all your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name Birmingham's trusted since 1954. That's Hemphill Services. You can call them up right now, 205-229-2090, 229-2090 for our friends at Hemphill. They bring you Lance's Lock every day here on the show. Lance'sLock.com. You can go play right now. How many baseball plays you have up today?
I got 2. I got a side and a total.
Side and a total. Same game?
Nope.
Different games. One side, one total up at Lance'sLock.com today. So play a little postseason baseball. 4 games today, starting in a couple hours down in Tampa. And then starting tomorrow, Brown, say it again. Starting tomorrow, how many straight days?
Every day until the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, Jim. Black Wednesday.
Every day until the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Take one day off, and then you come back Thursday,
That's right.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday,
Tuesday. There's football, either pro or college, every single day from now until the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, as pointed out by Yahoo Sports.
That's sort of like what we do over at Disrupt the Media, where it's just nonstop programming. Go follow that YouTube page over there and War Damn Pods and Roll Tide Pods to get all your Auburn and Alabama exclusive content. A little flavor of that coming up when we're done here right now, where you'll get a little bit of Burnout with Peter Burns of the SEC Network and Ryan Brown. That starts at the top of the hour. You don't have to change anything. You don't have to go anywhere. Just enjoy the Burnout. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live will share the latest interviews and videos from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and campuses all over the college landscape. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Live Daily Show. Jim, Lance, and Ryan will share their thoughts, and remember, you can always see the old shows on the Next Round Live YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, and don't forget to comment. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. It's Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
You've been wearing that thin, raggedy t-shirt for years now, and people cannot stop whispering and staring in your vicinity. We've all been there. Luckily, there's a solution to your lack of fashion and social cues. At NextRound.store, they have plenty of options when it comes to a variety of shirts and hats. Once you start putting that Next Round gear on, be prepared to make new lifelong friends and hundreds of unforgettable conversations. Hope you like random high fives in the street, because that's what you're getting after visiting NextRound.store.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast like Bama and Bourbon, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family, all at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Here we go. Baseball's underway, at least for some teams, not my team. We'll talk about that coming up in a little bit, and a lot to get to. As today starts what, Brown? How many straight days?
I don't know how many straight days. Every day until the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, as I called it yesterday, Black Wednesday.
About
Black Friday is the day after.
57.
So I'm guessing Black
Well,
Wednesday
what's today,
is-
the 4th? Let's do quick math. 27, and then what is Thanksgiving on?
It's I don't know. It was 52
It's on
days
a-
away.
It's on a Thursday.
Yeah, I'm gonna go about 50
That's
straight
about right,
days.
yeah.
50
something like
straight
that.
days of football.
I like it. Got a big play.
Oh, no.
on
Jack State?
Tonight's Jack State, Middle Tennessee State.
The
game.
Jacksonville State University?
I sure do.
I like that.
According to USA Today, coaches' salaries, Rich Rodriguez, the highest paid coach in Conference USA at $1 million a year.
Do you think we screw around at the Jacksonville State University?
$1 million. Did you ever think? Do you think?
I bet Bill Burgess is like, wait a minute.
I could have got $1 million a year.
Riley Green money spend, right?
Bill Burgess he was probably just happy to get a new truck when they were Division II. Like, Coach, we got an auto dealer that's willing to let you drive a truck as long as you don't go over 15,000 miles.
Yeah, I got a buddy. His son is a freshman and plays baseball there, and he was telling me a couple of years ago when they were recruiting me, he was like, "Man, I can't tell you how awesome these facilities are." And then I've heard from multiple people how nice that stadium is.
What, the football stadium?
I'm talking about the football stadium.
Yeah.
So where does all the money come from?
Well, you get a few country music stars, Riley Green, Randy Owen.
I mean, you've told them, you give me that one Spanish credit,
one
I'll
Spanish,
give back.
I'm withholding my donation.
Are you working on a Rubik's Cube?
No, so I recorded the original roundtable with Ian yesterday.
Where can you get that?
And you can get that at Disrupt the Media.
Yep.
And
all the links in the comment are in the description below this YouTube.
And I brought my headphones back in here and threw them on the table, and it looks like one of those elves on the shelf got a hold of this son bitch last night. We're close to Christmas, right?
Oh, you made it.
Yeah, I made
you're
it.
at the end there.
I made it.
And they're redoing the old field house with the recruiting area and all that. They're
Back
in the
to
end
Jack
zone.
State?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes, that's who we were talking about. They're redoing all that at the end. I mean, it's going to be a nice stadium, man. We don't screw around at the Jacksonville State University, Jim. You'll learn that.
And they're on the road tonight. Middle Tennessee, 7 o'clock ESPN.
Underdogs.
7 o'clock ESPNU at lanceslock.com. He's got a play on that. And anything else today? Baseball?
Oh, yeah, we'll have some baseball. We're looking at it right now. We were 1-1 yesterday because, as you said, your Rays did not show up. We had that over. We had the Twins. We helped them snap that 18-game postseason slide.
Hey, look, I don't know why you care. Their fans obviously don't, so I don't know why you do.
Hey,
Worst fan base in the world.
19,704. Brown, you don't know it's the worst fan base in the world. Have you ever tried to go from downtown Tampa to St. Petersburg on that
They are
bridge?
the worst fans.
That bridge?
Worst postseason crowd since the Black Sox. Did you know that?
Oh, yeah, 1919.
1919
Yeah,
Black Sox.
1919.
Worst postseason crowd since one of their days.
I tried this when I was at one of the games. I was behind home plate, and I had a friend that was in the right field portal, and I wanted to see if I could order the beer during the game, and I did. And they were able to get
Bud Lights! Bud Lights!
I really didn't
Bud
do that,
Lights!
but you could have. You know, the funniest thing about that, and I don't know if they still got it, they had a place called The Beach, and it was on the top level. And it was like
they've shut off the top level.
Okay, it was like a club.
Nobody was there.
No, it was funny. It was a
dead
club.
body.
They had sand. They had a bar. They had a couple of TVs up there, and you could watch the game.
It's a nude beach now. Nobody goes.
And I was so damn bored with the game. We went up to the club or the beach, and there was nobody at the beach. You know, it was like lifeguard just kind of sitting there, barely spinning his whistle.
There's the crowd yesterday. They shut off the upper deck. They only bring that out for the whatever bowl game they're playing, the Lawnmower Bowl.
That's
or
where the
whatever it
beach
is.
was, though, up in the left field stands.
Yeah, I saw a hockey game there one time, and it's a dismal place. They're going to build a new stadium, open in 2028, and they're going to build it right in the same area, which will mean the crowd will stay exactly that bad. Yeah, because it's impossible to get from the where people are populated out to St. Pete. Plus, they played it in the middle of the weekday afternoon. I mean,
nobody works down there. They're all retired.
That's what I was about to say, though. 3 o'clock, that's dinner time down there. 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Dinner time.
People are in line at the Piccadilly.
I mean, they could have done 2 dogs for $2 or something. This is interesting. When I was reading about and I'm looking at it right here, the lowest attendance since the 1919 World Series. Something happened in that 1919 World Series, right?
The old Black Sox,
Brown
right?
just said it. The Black Sox, yeah.
But only the Marlins, A's, and the Royals had worse attendance. I wouldn't think the Royals would have that bad of attendance. Yeah. That seems like a pretty good sports crowd, doesn't it? I know they were shitty this year. But
attendance was up 6 million people in Major League Baseball this year.
You know why? Shorter game.
And
easier to go to.
More people went to the ballpark this year, so the percentages were way up. And Tampa Bay, as LT is saying, 27th in attendance. But more than the outcome yesterday of the 99-win team, Tampa Bay Rays losing, was the fact that only 19,704 were in attendance. They won 185 games in 2 years, and nobody went to watch them. There's a different view of Tropicana. They'll play same time today, 2 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock local time. They must win to stay alive for a deciding Game 3. If they lose, it'll be back-to-back years of having a great record, but losing in these short wild card games.
Well, and the offense was so good this year, and I was surprised, and that's one of the reasons I played the over. I didn't think Jordan Montgomery would be nearly what he, I was scared of the other side, Glasnow, pitching extremely well. They had the 4 errors. There were some incredible defensive plays in that game, too, that cost me a couple of runs. But now you guys are on the hills.
Yep. Oh, yeah, absolutely. They'll turn to Eflin to try to save the day today. That'll start the baseball off. You mentioned the lock, nailed it, ending the 18-game postseason losing streak of the Twins, 3-1 over Toronto. By the way, if Toronto loses today, it'll be their 4th consecutive series they've lost in the postseason, and it'll be their 7th straight postseason game. So they sort of flip the script with the Twins. They become the most consecutive losing franchise in baseball. If the Twins are able to get them today, 3:30 on ESPN.
Yeah, and we remember how good that those Toronto teams were in the 90s. I mean, those were just great
Joe Carter.
teams. Yeah, man. I in the Sky Dome when it busted on the scene. I think 1991 or 92 was the first year for the Sky Dome. And those were some really, really good Toronto teams. And, when they had this Bichette and Vlad Guerrero and Biggio, you thought this team, seeing them in the postseason a couple of years ago, hey, once they get pitching right, watch out for Toronto. And they've been a player, but it just hasn't been able to get over the hump.
Football in a second. 7 pitchers used by Milwaukee, but I told you, watch out for Arizona. They scored 6. They beat Milwaukee 6-3. And Milwaukee burned through their bullpen. Could be a bad trip there for Milwaukee. And then Philadelphia beat Miami. That's the scary part now about these baseball playoffs. It's the most meaningless regular season that lasts forever. 162 games. The Braves have won 104. If the Phillies win today against Miami, who is not a playoff team, the Phillies becoming a veteran group who get to play the Braves, and they'll be in a series, and you play all summer long where you're by far the best team in baseball, one of the best teams in history, and you'll be down to a little series with the Philadelphia Phillies on whether or not you go to the NLCS. It's a dangerous team because they're just, they've got a couple of good pitchers. They're just a veteran group that sort of sleptwalked their way into the playoffs just like they did last year and won the National League pennant. We'll see what the Phillies are able to do if they can finish the Marlins off today.
And Rhys Hoskins not playing this year. That is hurt. It was a nice little gesture that he came out through the first pitch yesterday. But one of the reasons they were able to make that deep October run last year was a 1-2 combination of Wheeler and Nola. And Aaron Nola just hasn't been good this year. So he'll get the ball today. We'll see what happens there. But this Phillies team is dangerous.
Yeah, postseason Nola, though. Look out for him.
Postseason Nola. YouTube TV once again strikes. I loved it because I was able to put the split screen on one of the TVs and watch both of the primetime games last night.
Look at you embracing technology.
So I am to the point now, because of what YouTube TV is doing, that I've got 2 Rokus for the top 4s. And I am going to try to get that fiber or whatever. I don't know. People need to tell me the best fiber to get on the high-speed internet. And once I get that, then I'm going to get 2 more Rokus and I'm done with DirecTV.
The question is it available in your neighborhood?
That's the question.
If it's not available in your neighborhood.
Yeah, it may or may not be. I don't know. You need to check on that.
In my old neighborhood, it was never available. And when we started this and I moved, the first thing I checked was if I had AT&T fiber. and we did, and that's when I instantly cut the cord.
So that's who I need to call is AT&T.
Yeah, because I've got them at my house and have never had one singular issue, not one issue whatsoever.
I started having a problem towards the late innings last night.
Everybody in your neighborhood getting on watching TV is your problem right there, probably. I don't know anything about it. That was just a guess on my part.
It's either your neighborhood has it or it doesn't have it.
Well, and Jay Price says, how many fiber options are there beyond AT&T? I don't know that there are any.
I don't know.
I think if you want fiber, they may have the monopoly on it, at least around here.
Yep. I think so too.
I've got it at my house, Lance, and I've never had one singular hiccup.
I know a lot of people are anti Elon Musk, but he's got some kind of
Starlink,
the satellite internet.
No, I'm not anti.
Yeah, so if that may be the way to look into it.
I still look at Twitter.
My buddy Johnny Orr and his wife put it in their farm, and they barely have sunshine at their big farm in South Georgia. It's such a big space down out in the woods in Adelia.
You have to put like a deposit down, and you're put on a waiting list. It's not like you can I want Starlink so I can have it next week.
Oh, 6 months.
Yeah.
6 months for the equipment to come.
Are you kidding?
So do they get blazing fast internet with that?
They said it was really good that down at the farm they were able to watch Netflix and ESPN Plus, no problem.
Yeah, a friend of mine's dad has a farm, and he said he got it, and it's the only complaint he has, and it's not. He said it's not a complaint. Is sometimes it's a little spotty during the rain, but it's nothing bad. And he said like everything else, to be in the middle of a farm and have great service like that.
Well, that would be the thing. You'd have the same rain fade as I guess DirecTV would have.
I think Karen over the Vulcan Tire and Automotive said if you put in your zip code, it will tell you if you've got it. But I think we've all got the same zip code.
Yeah, we do. You're probably going to have to call AT&T. Yeah, I think we're all under the same zip code.
Neighborhood to neighborhood in a lot of places.
Do they outsource to the Philippines like they're? I guess they're the parent company over DirecTV.
Our friends at Dr. B got LT's hair looking good under the hat as we get rolling to college football coming up here. Tell us about that, LT.
Yes, Dr. Beckenstein offers that Sensus Transdermal Infuser. This enables Dr. B to get various medicines and therapies into the scalp where the hair follicles are without using any injections. This is revolutionary as Dr. B can pinpoint delivery of a patient's genetically specific products without any needles. Call today. Book that consultation. Again, when I went in to see him, the hair had been thinning out. Since I went to see Dr. B, the hair has more than doubled in thickness. Make the call that I made, 205-319-0316, t3hair.net for more information.
Okay, just a note today at 1:20 Central Time, 2:20 Eastern, your phone likely will make a beeping sound, a tone. This will be the first national security test that our country will run since 2021. So that'll be happening. If you're listening to the radio, if you're over 60 listening to the radio today, you'll get that emergency system alert. If you're watching television, you'll get one. Our country has not run one of these since 2021. We're doing it today, 1:20 Central Time.
I made the mistake last night on TikTok of watching a video about this. Like some guy, I just wanted to see kind of the crazy stuff he was espousing that was going to go on with this, right?
Right.
So he does the video talking about, how this is going to trigger the end of the world, basically. And so I just watched it laughing at it. And you know how TikTok works. You watch one of those, they serve you up one after another. So it was just like one video after another of people telling me how this is going to trigger the end of the world.
Well, tell us.
Oh,
give us one theory.
They didn't have any details, man. They're just telling you it's going to trigger the end of the world. Yeah, I'm like, so the government's going to pre-announce something that's going to trigger the end of the world. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So this used to happen monthly, I think, right?
Yeah.
All the time, and we've dialed these back. But it's even going to go to your phone unless you're on airplane mode or in a place you don't have good cell service, or if you somehow have it rigged up to where it's not going to make sounds. So if I don't have my notification set, is it still going to go off? Like if I was sitting in a funeral at 1:20 today?
No, you can turn off. You can turn off the alerts.
You can turn off just like the Amber Alerts. You can turn them off.
Yeah, I was told by the back room though, when you go record after the show today, leave your phone.
Yeah, they alerted Lance like you're going to be recording in that time. I was in here for that alert. You're going to be recording at that time. Leave your phone in here because it's going to go crazy for a minute or I don't know how long.
It should be 2 tones and then a sequence of tones after that, which of course we all know means that the Soviet Union is sending missiles our way, which is how this all started back in the Cold War. So that's happening at 1:20 today. Now to college football. Deion Sanders, if you're wondering, USA Today with their coaches' salaries is making $5.5 million to coach Colorado. He's 32nd in the rankings of coaching salary, 32nd. Highest paid is Nick Saban, $11.4 million. So Deion gets asked yesterday with the popularity, the success, the media attention he's gotten there about his future. Maybe a pay raise is coming, or maybe a lifetime contract offer from Colorado. Here's Deion Sanders.
Coach, I'm just curious, because you're focused, like you said, you listen to some noise, I think, but you don't listen to all the noise that comes in. What do you say when people like local people here, Buffs people say, Deion for life, man. How can we get this guy to a lifetime contract? How do we keep him and keep what we got?
If I listen to that, I'm going to have to listen to this. You can't choose that and not accompany it with this. So either I'm going to be in it, or I'm going to be out of it. That's a wonderful gesture. I love it. But I'm smart enough to know and old and wise enough to know that can flip on you instantaneous. A fan only blows when you're hot. My mama said that, not me. So if y'all want to be mad, get mad at my mama, okay?
That's a good point. Yeah, look, you want me for life, okay. I shit the bed next year, you don't want me anymore. Ask Mel Tucker.
Yeah, but
what if I don't win again this year?
Yeah. But generally, unless you're Mel Tucker and they can find a way to trump up some charges on you, generally, when you do that in the bed, it comes with a very nice check if you got that lifetime deal.
It does, but I think Deion's got such an ego.
I don't think he needs it.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need it, but I think this is a guy that really wants to achieve something special. He's going down this road. He doesn't want to, veer off and take that golden parachute like maybe we would in that situation. Right. The exciting thing is you said maybe not win again this year. They should win their next 2 games even without Travis Hunter. Arizona State, Stanford, then you get a bye before UCLA and you get Travis Hunter back. Travis Hunter played this past Saturday. I'm not saying they win the game.
Oh, that's a lot. They were within a touchdown as it was.
It was very interesting to begin with, though.
I would say this, Deion would have all the leverage in this negotiation. So he could probably, normally the reason you would in this situation not want a lifetime deal is because the school's going to protect themselves on a buyout as well. So a lifetime deal at Colorado prevents you from taking the Florida job if Billy Napier gets fired, or fill in the blank on any job if anybody gets fired, right?
That's right. Or an NFL job.
Or an NFL job, maybe. But Deion would have all the leverage in the world here. So, I fully believe Deion could negotiate a deal right now that is lifetime for him and very low buyout if he wanted to leave. He's got all the leverage. How could Colorado not do it? Do you know how much he's been worth to Colorado?
Yeah. Do you guys
such
also
a value that they're only paying him $5 million. They have gotten a tremendous value out of that.
They've gotten more than that in every broadcast.
Yeah, not even close.
Can I ask you guys who the last Colorado coach was before Deion?
It was
Carl Dorrell.
Very good.
Yeah.
You know he was fired this week last year?
Last year, yeah.
I'm surprised anybody knows it was Carl Dorrell.
I think we had 3 Power 5 coaches that were fired by this time last year.
So I think it was the first one to go was Scott Frost.
Yep.
And then we had Carl Dorrell. And then we had Paul Christ. And then we had Jeff Collins. And then we had Herm Edwards. Or not exactly in that order, but those 5 were gone in the first 5 weeks.
So we had 5 at this point.
Harsin didn't go down until Halloween, as we'll always remember.
Yeah, we'll never forget that.
So far we've had 0.
Yeah, and I don't even know who's...
Mel Tucker.
Yeah, you got to count.
Yeah, but that was complete horseshit.
Yeah, Mel Tucker.
We do have a hot seat update from Andy Staples if you trust him.
Okay, we'll do that in our next segment coming up. Part of our show being brought to you by our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing, 205-542-3531. Greg from Pell City is the way we call him. It's Greg Nelson. He and his wife run the company, locally owned, 20 years, A-plus rated, Better Business Bureau. But we just call him Greg from Pell City. You can even look him up on Facebook that way, Greg from Pell City. What he does roof replacement, repairs your storm damage, but absolutely free. He'll give you a no-cost, no-obligation roof inspection if you call the number 205-542-3531, 542-3531, free no-cost roof inspection from Storm Restoration Roofing. Greg from Pell City on Facebook. That hot seat update coming up. By the way, if Kirby Smart were to be fired by December 1st,
right,
without cause, if they just said, we're tired of winning, it's too easy, it's no fun.
We want to go back to mediocrity.
Boring.
We want to get the grind back. They would owe him $92.6 million.
Oh, you know what? I bet he would say, you know what, take the grind back. Give me that $92 million.
By the way, just a little bit more than what you owe Jimbo Fisher if you fire him. Just a little bit more.
Hey, Rocky, you said how many? 6 months? I just got this no, I got to update this. 2 to 5 days, the self-setup kit will be at my house, and they've already started texting me, those some bitches. That's why I gave them the old Cumulus email address.
Starlink?
Well, there's also a deposit too. I think you have to.
Yeah,
do
how
that.
much is the deposit?
It's AT&T, $55 a month. It says it's available on my screen.
AT&T. He was talking about Starlink.
Oh, I'm doing the broadband fiber.
No, AT&T will be there tomorrow, man. Okay. They need the business.
They like your money.
Yeah, but I thought y'all said fiber was good.
It is.
Oh, it's the best.
It's the best. No, they were talking about Starlink, the one that comes
Elon
from
Musk.
Elon Musk, yeah.
Blow your mind right here. We are broadcasting to the world right now on great AT&T fiber.
That's right.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, it keeps us in business.
Yeah.
And how many times has something gone wrong right here?
Not on the AT&T.
Not only we've had a couple of blips.
Some hiccups.
Just a couple of blips.
Yeah, I would take that. I would take that fiber and take those couple of hiccups, as long as it's not like 2-minute drive or something with the Matt Stafford going in for the win this weekend against the Eagles.
And not to jinx anything, but I think most of those problems were probably self-inflicted by our own computers. It wasn't the fiber.
You based that on what?
And a fire.
And a fire. We did have a fire. I don't know that the internet ever went out in the fire. Remember, we did the show from the park.
So I'm going to ask another dumb question, but I know these Apple phones, they run out where you have to go buy another one. Does that happen with routers? Because I just bought an expensive router like 3 or 4 years ago.
Anything that's got moving parts in it.
Peloton doesn't work. Outside doesn't really work.
I will tell you that eventually I will run out.
Yeah.
No, I get
everything
that.
runs out.
Yeah, but it's almost like it's set up where, okay, you're going to pay $500 for this router, and you're going to get 5 years out of it, and then you got to get a new one.
You would be a really good conspiracy theorist. You ought to get on TikTok and see what's coming up on this this EAS test.
Yeah, 120 today.
That's
It's
right.
only a test.
It's only a test
of the
World's
emergency
not ended.
broadcast system. Do not panic. LT.
I selected no. I don't want the test.
You don't want the test. No. How are you going to know when you have to go to the bomb shelter?
All I heard was the word test. I said, I'm out.
Before you tell us about New York Butcher Shop, the wildest apology of the year in college football so far. You ready for it? Yeah. Jonathan Smith of Oregon State apologized for doing this gesture.
Did you see it?
Oh, yeah.
And you know what he was telling them, right?
Milk the clock.
Yeah, milk the clock.
Milk the clock.
Milk the clock.
He did not apologize for that.
He did apologize.
I love Jonathan Smith, and I'm losing a little respect.
Yep. Milk the clock. Milk the clock. He was trying to do it some other way, and the quarterback was he was like, milk the clock. Milk the clock.
What if he would have done it the Ishmael way?
Well, the Ishmael, that was the
Kingpin.
He milked the bull.
That's where I wish.
No, it was Woody Harrelson that actually milked the bull.
We don't
right?
have a cow. We have a bull.
I wish Jonathan Smith had sat down in the press conference and said, "You can milk anything with nipples." And then somebody said, "I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?"
Yeah, I mean, but I guess some people were offended because.
Because people get offended about everything.
Of the female anatomy, but also
that's what you do with a cow's udders.
It's the cow's udders.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have been simulating the cow's udders.
So you don't drink milk? I mean, how in the hell are we going to get the milk
That's what he started out doing.
Well, but you know what normally that means?
That's driving.
That's going fast. Let's get into the fast offense. So then he realized I can't do that anymore.
So who asked him to apologize?
Oh, I don't know if anybody asked him to apologize. He just apologized at his news conference.
Oh, there's no way he just apologized. Somebody had to say something.
There you go.
There was some feedback. I think it kind of went viral on social media.
By the way, Jonathan working the what looks to be the A cups there, right? Maybe a B.
Did anybody apologize for the shake weight?
I mean, if you watch some of the signals those guys are sending in on the sidelines, you'll get offended really quick.
Yes, you will.
You'll get offended really, really quick. All right, that gets us going. Tell us about New York Butcher Shop LT, where we pay off some of our steak bets, and all of us enjoy steak night on Fridays at the Browns and all other stuff with New York Butcher.
I'm planning on doing it Friday night at my house. I've asked you, have you figured out your Friday yet?
I have not figured out my Friday.
Okay, we're getting close. I'm going to ask you again tomorrow, though. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, hey, stop by the New York Butcher Shop. Pick up the finest and certified Angus Prime beef steaks, burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Chef-prepared entrees and side dishes. Perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family. Ready to heat at home with a great selection of fine wines and desserts. New York Butcher Shop, one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you. Cahaba Heights, Highway 119 in Greystone. New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Is it just that? Is it over with us like going to sit down and having dinner together? Is that over with?
Busy schedules.
It's just fall so busy. I mean, I guess we can find a night.
Busy schedules.
So we do our little Monday night thing, right?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Tuesday night, I've always got Jack, but we're about to start a new show, TNT. Right. We'll give you more details on that.
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday night trivia.
That's right.
Thursday night Bud Light game night. Mm-hmm. Friday night Jack Taylor.
Yeah, I mean, when y'all going to go, man? When are you going to go, Jim?
That's for us.
Good point.
Saturday night college football. Sunday night NFL. Then the cycle starts over.
All right. TNT will not have Barkley, Ernie, or any of them on it, right?
The Jet.
Yeah.
No, we got a fun,
It's a show about ACDC.
unfiltered handicapping show coming up. We will give you more details once we finalize that.
All right, all that coming up. Brown's got a hot seat list. We'll talk about that and more college football as we're rolling on. Dion says no to the lifetime contract. We're back in a moment right here on TNR.
Follow Rockstar on Twitter @RockstarBHM.
IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, and compression therapy all under one roof. It's our friends at HydroLive. Mention Next Round at checkout. Save 20% off any service. HydroLive's got 3 locations, Homewood, Tuscaloosa, and coming soon to Greystone.
The Next Round Golf Cart is here. Your chance to play 4 area golf courses for just $89. Get 18 holes of golf and cart at Limestone Springs, Cross Creek, The Meadows, and the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. That's a value of $247 for just $89. Or get the Next Round Deluxe Golf Cart for just $119. It gets you all 4 courses with cart, plus an exclusive Next Round Golf t-shirt, koozie, golf tees, and a sticker. There are no restrictions. The cart is good through September 2024. Get your golf cart now at nextround.store.
It's time for a little NBA basketball in Birmingham. Legacy Arena, October 12th. Pelicans and Rockets in town, and you need to get your tickets right now. Call them up, 205-719-0850, and book your NBA tickets in Birmingham. 205-719-0850, or just simply go to birminghamsquadron.com. When the Pelicans and Rockets play in Birmingham, you'll get to see local players like Herb Jones and Kyra Lewis Jr., Jabari Smith, as well as superstars Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson. If you become a Squadron season ticket holder, you get complimentary tickets to this huge event right here in the Magic City. Again, get more details and buy those tickets right now. birminghamsquadron.com. Remember, this NBA preseason game sold out in Birmingham last year, so don't get left outside. Get those tickets now. 205-719-0850 or birminghamsquadron.com.
The Next Round Golf Cart is here. Your chance to play 4 area golf courses for just $89. Get 18 holes in cart at Limestone Springs, Cross Creek, The Meadows, and the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. A $247 value for just $89. Get your golf cart now at nextround.store.
As summer starts to fade, get ready to welcome the arrival of fall. But hey, it's not just football season making an entrance. In the world of pest, it's fall invader season. Hold on tight because we've got 4 major troublemakers stepping into the spotlight. Box elder bugs, kudzu bugs, ladybugs, and stink bugs. These pests don't just knock, they barge in like they own the place. But fear not, dial up Wayne's Pest Control now, 865-588-6686, and let's show those fall invaders who's boss. Don't let pests crash your party. Take charge today. Hey, if you're looking for Birmingham's best pizza, you need to stop in and see our friends at Slice Pizza and Brew. It's as local as you can get, from the ingredients that go into every pizza to the beer on tap. For a great lunch or dinner, go see our friends today, Vestavia or Lakeview at Slice. Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com. The latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com. That's nextroundlive.com.
Hey, Karen asking in the Vulcan Tire and Automotive chat room, where are you guys tomorrow night? If you're not familiar with what we've been doing the last couple of years, Thursday night is Bud Light game night. And this week, we're at the Crestwood Tavern. Looking forward to that. We may do an outside show tomorrow night. The weather forecast, Brownie's telling me, is so good. I thought we had rain later this week, but yesterday I was out on the golf course, and it was like 81 and not a cloud in the sky. It was perfect. So Brandy says maybe a sunset show.
I'd like to do an outside show. I love this time of year. Just
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too.
Crestwood Tavern.
Yeah, Crestwood. I've never been before, but I've been past it a bunch, and I've heard really good things. So excited about that.
5 to 7 live show on the platform. If you can't make it to the area, 6 to 7. Don't know who all will be on the show. Little T has been on the show. Emily Grace has led it the last couple of weeks. We'll see who all's there.
Yeah, hey, my former brother-in-law's coming. Coming to hang out.
Former brother-in-law.
Yeah, you guys could get him on a Q&A about me.
Yeah.
Think the ex-wife would love that?
Probably
so. Hey, and while we're talking technology, did you know you can set your payment and usage alerts? Did you know you can set your payments and usage usage. Why do I want to know how much power I'm using? It just makes me nervous to see that thing spinning around. In the old days, it's outside my house.
Because if you've got an issue, at least you get the alert. And you're like, wait a minute, that's more than it was last month.
That's exactly right. That's why you want it.
You think one of those dudes that ever crept up checking the meter ever got shot?
I would hope not.
I hope not.
Well, I mean, they just looked a little shaky out in your bushes looking at that.
I wonder if they probably find a snake every now and again.
Do your payments, set the alerts and all that with your Alabama Power account. Alabama Power's new mobile app puts the power in your hands. Why not? Now you can be the first to know when a payment is due, when your usage is high, or when there is an outage in your area, which is always something you want to know about. Download the mobile app by searching Alabama Power in your app store, or visit alabamapower.com/mobile app, alabamapower.com/mobile app. Before Brown tells us about the hot seat, if you missed the USA Today out a couple of days ago with these rankings, Nick Saban's the highest paid, $11.4 million is what that is up to now. Dabo is second, $10.8 million. Kirby third, $10.7 million. Ryan Day, 10.2. Brian Kelly, 9.9. Jimbo Fisher, 9.1. Mark Stoops, 9.01. Josh Heupel, $9 million. Lane Kiffin, $9 million. 7 SEC coaches make $9 million or more.
That is incredible. I mean, we lost a $9 million coach, Mel Tucker, but
we don't know how much Marcus Freeman or Lincoln Riley make. Both of those, Lincoln Riley at least expected to be over $9 million.
Yeah, and Marcus Freeman probably is not, because he was just a coordinator there, so you probably got him at a discount if you're Notre Dame. Royal Payne points out on Twitter, Dunaway, as we always bring this up. You remember when Saban first came to Alabama, was getting $4 million a year, and people literally were saying this is the end of amateur sports.
That's right.
This is it. I mean, college football is over when a coach is making $4 million a year.
And fast forward to Bryce Young, his quarterback, getting $5 million last year. Yeah.
As he points out, Brent Pry at Virginia Tech is number 51 this year, and that is $3 million. Or $4 million. I'm sorry, $4 million. So he's making what Saban was making.
Yeah, that's crazy. Kyle Whittingham, you're a big favorite, LT. $6.36 million, 19th year there. He is 23rd behind Sam Pittman, Brett Bielema, and Hugh Freeze in the salary tree right there.
Well, he probably deserves more. Utah is not one of these brands that's going to bring in a ton of revenue. But, boy, he is a hell of a coach. Coming off a loss, but they were down 16 of their top 44 this past weekend on the road in Corvallis. Rough game there, but I fully expect when Keithy and Rising come back, that's going to be a really good team. I think this is there's only one guy in the Power 5 that is on the hot seat right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, before we get to that, a couple more things here. 46 coaches, if they were fired without cause, would have $10 million or more buyouts this year. $10 million or more in their buyouts. Yeah, 46 of them.
Yeah, that's where agents have gotten so smart. Used to, I don't think the buyouts are quite there, and the agents have now said that's the real money is the buyout.
But this is why almost every program has a PI on staff. And this, you thought a lot of people thought the Mel Tucker thing was not above board, that they dug and dug and dug and they found a way to get him fired.
Yep.
You're going to see some really nastiness coming up over the next couple of years. It's going to get worse.
Our agents, the people that represent us collectively, represent a number of college football coaches, and it's one of the first lessons they taught us when they looked at the very first time we met with them and they looked at our radio contracts. They asked us collectively, what's this contract worth, or how long is this contract? And we said, it's a 3-year contract worth this. And they said, your contract is worth not what they pay you to show up, what they have to pay you not to show up.
That's right.
And that's what these agents are doing with college football coaches now is like, you can say you're making $9 million a year. None of that matters unless they have to pay you $9 million this year not to show up. Then you're making $9 million this year.
And so on our 2010 contract, when we first hired these guys, technically our 3-year contract was a 2-week contract.
That's right. They were like, you got a 2. They only have to pay you 2 weeks to fire you. So you've got a 2-week contract.
And that changed instantly.
That's when they said that's the first thing we're changing in your contract.
That was the first thing we changed.
That's right.
Well, look, you've got to have what you would call, and I don't want to say we had leverage, but we did have somebody that was interested at that particular time.
We had leverage in that very next contract. The good Lord blessed us on that one.
Yeah, but that's the sad thing is there's some people that get built into these contracts that they've got no control over it. And, corporate America, boy, they'll take advantage of you.
Yep,
They
in a
will.
heartbeat.
They will, absolutely. All right, so there you go. There's the little contract talk. But who's on the hot seat? Brownie's going to walk us through that right after LT tells us about our friends at HydroLive.
Yeah, our friends at HydroLive, IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, compression therapy, all under one roof. If you're about to get after it, maybe you're heading to Vegas, you're having a big tailgate weekend, make sure you get into one of those great locations at HydroLive. If you can't make it to the Hoover or Homewood location, open 7 days a week, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Guess what? Nurse can come to you. Nurse Lacey was out right here in studio last Friday. For more information, you can follow them on Facebook and Instagram at HydroLive Therapy. You can go online, hydrolifetherapy.com. Make sure you mention Next Round at checkout. You're going to get 20% off any of those great services. Again, Next Round at checkout. It's our friends at HydroLive.
So Andy Staples, who we trust, Andy does such a good job with On 3, comes on the show often. We love Andy, and I think Andy is a level-headed guy. He's not one just to throw out, this guy's getting fired. He's, in fact, telling you why some of these guys are not getting fired.
Yeah.
Okay, that's part of this article here.
Can we, when you call them out, can LT and I make our call
Sure.
on whether they get
Here we
fired
go.
or
Yeah,
not? Okay.
but I think there is only one guy right now that could be fired in season. Let me say that.
Mike Gundy, Oklahoma State.
I don't think he's fired.
He's making $7.1 million, highest paid coach in the Big 12.
More on that in a moment.
It is a little bit of a drop-off this year. They don't seem as competitive.
I think it's been more than just this year. I think they've had a big drop-off.
You say
Recently.
that. I mean,
I
less
do.
than 2 years ago, they had one play from going to the college football playoff.
Yeah, but overall, they're not
It's
as consistent as they
Oklahoma
used to be.
State. I totally disagree. There's
Okay.
no way he should be fired. The problem is he's got his
I'm
quarterback.
not saying he should be fired.
He's got his son in the quarterback mix, and
Right.
that typically
Daddy ball.
never works out.
Daddy ball.
Yeah.
Shedeur Sanders.
Well,
Typically.
yeah. Works out sometimes.
Most of the time, it's daddy ball.
Yeah, I would not even. I don't necessarily like the guy. He's strange. He fits their brand well, and I think he's done a really, really good job with that program.
By the way, before Gundy took over, the best I remember Oklahoma State, I remember them for two things. One was Barry Sanders,
Yep.
right? And they were average teams in. The other was Les Miles one year beat Oklahoma, and they were like 7-5, and he got the LSU job. Other than that, before Gundy got there, Oklahoma State was a bump in the road.
Yeah, and Oklahoma
Terrible.
State, 2011. If they don't blow that Friday night game against Iowa State, they're playing for a national championship.
And I just to quickly follow up with what I was saying, you say you disagree with it, they've fallen off.
No, I think they've fallen off in a year.
No. It's been more than a year. 2018, 7-6. 2019, 8-5. 2020, 8-3. 2021, 12-2. 2022, 7-6. He's 2-2 this year.
What's your expectation for Oklahoma State?
But you can't deny, Lance, that that's fallen off.
That's better than Texas has been.
But you can't deny that.
How's
it's
that fallen off? He was 12-2 2 years ago, less than 2 years ago.
Lance, I just gave you 7 wins, 8 wins, 8 wins, 12 wins,
And
7 wins.
No, 8 wins is about his average.
No, but before that, 2010, 11-2, 2011, 12-1, 2012, 8-5. 10-3, 7-6, 10-3, 10-3, 10-3. He was winning double-digit games more often than not. You can't tell me he hasn't fallen off.
A year and a half ago, he was a play away from playing in the college football playoff.
Which is one season.
Okay, that's not falling off.
It's 100% falling off.
It's not falling off.
7 wins, 8 wins, 8 wins, 12 wins, 7 wins. He's 2-2, and he just got slaughtered by South Alabama.
They would be eating dummy sandwiches to fire that guy.
Okay, I don't disagree, but you can't deny he hasn't fallen off. I mean, the numbers 100%
So
say
Nick
he has.
Saban has really fallen off.
Nick Saban he had 10 wins last year.
Yeah, but that's fallen off.
Yeah, but if you, by your standards,
played for the national championship a
you
year
go back
ago.
to 15 wins, 14 wins, 13
Yeah.
wins, 14 wins, 13
Yeah,
wins.
he's fallen off.
10 wins is a
He's
fall
about-
off technically.
He's about to lose his second game this weekend this year.
It has fallen off,
Yeah.
yes. But I mean,
But I don't think he's on a hot seat.
You're giving me 1 year, it's fallen off.
Yeah, well, that's 1 year for Gundy.
Okay.
mean,
Whatever. The numbers say he's fallen off. He, according to Andy Staples, is. I mean,
that was a Brownism. He's like, okay, we're going to move on, but I'm going to throw one more line in there to say my point was right.
Well,
The numbers say
I
he's
just don't
fallen
see
off.
how
and
you
we'll move on.
argue looking at those numbers that he hasn't fallen off. He's had one good year out of 6.
Okay.
When he used to win double digits almost every single year. How is that not
He
fallen
did
off?
not almost win double digits every single
I
year.
just freaking read them to you. 11-2, 12-1,
Okay, but
10-3,
through this, go back
7-6, 10-3, 10-3, 10-3. That is.
And then you stop before you got to the single digits.
7-6, 8-8.
Yeah.
7, 8, 8, 12, 7, and he's 2-2 this year.
Yeah, so he's on pace probably for 7 wins again. This is about what I expect from Oklahoma State.
I'm not saying it's not what you expect, but I'm saying he's fallen off.
Okay.
I'm just reading numbers. The numbers don't lie. It's not an expectation thing. I don't expect anything out of Oklahoma State either, and I wouldn't fire the guy, but he's fallen off.
So why is he on this list again?
Huh?
I thought this was hot seat.
It is.
Okay, I don't think he's on a hot seat.
Okay, I don't either.
Okay.
Andy Staples says the reason he's not on a hot seat is because his buyout goes up every single year. That's a good agent right there. When your buyout doesn't decrease every year, but it goes up every year.
I agree.
Neil Brown.
4-1 now, so I think he's playing his way off of the hot seat.
Could still easily get back on it. Now, he has not earned his money. I like Neil, but Neil is a guy that deserves to be squarely on the hot seat. I'll give him credit after the opening season loss to Penn State. He's won 4 consecutive games. Seems like he's worked a little wiggle room. Yep. I still fully expect at the end of the year he probably gets fired.
Give me the rest of their schedule. West Virginia's schedule.
If you'll give me 2 seconds.
I'd love to see this, because if he gets him to a bowl game, that's a step forward. That is, quote unquote, not falling off.
Yeah,
that is a step forward at West Virginia.
But at 6-6, West Virginia expects more. He's getting paid more than to go to a bowl game.
But who the hell are you going to get that if he's got it trending in the right direction?
Here is your schedule at Houston. You want to talk about falling off?
Winnable game.
Yeah, Oklahoma State,
winnable game.
At UCF, it's a winnable game.
It's a tougher one, but yeah,
it's tougher, but it's certainly winnable.
By the way, Gus only making like $2.3 million a year.
After last week, and he take a couple of $100,000.
They want a refund,
but maybe they're only paying him for 3/4.
BYU. It's at home. It's at home.
It's a winnable game.
Yeah, at Oklahoma. I mean, I will learn a lot about Oklahoma this week.
It's a loss.
Cincinnati, winnable game, and at Baylor, that's a winnable game. Now, Baylor got Blake Shapen back last week, and you saw a difference. They come back and beat Gus in Central Florida.
But they were down 35-7.
They were, so they're.
I mean, dude, he can end up 9-3.
Yeah, but he could lose all of them.
He could. He could fall off.
Yeah. $20 million was the buyout last year that kept him safe. But as he says, an 8-win season is off the table. 9-win season is off the table. But Andy says the buyout has probably dropped enough that he's in danger if they can't get to 7, 8, 9 wins. But he's 4 right now, and we just did his schedule.
That's right.
And the buyout went from $20 million to.
Well, he doesn't have the number, but he said he didn't give me the number, but he said it has dropped.
Okay, Roman Harper is coming up in the next segment here.
Brent Pry, Virginia Tech. I mean, boy, we're really early there.
Yeah,
but $13.7 million to get rid of him this year.
And I think the consensus needs to be Frank Beamer was an incredible coach, and you're never going to be able to replicate that.
Is this year 2 or 3 for Brent Pry?
2.
Is it 2? I thought it was 3. Okay, 2. Okay.
Dana Holgerson, Houston.
Out.
Well, listen, before you say that.
Houston's got money out.
Before you say that, Andy says off the record, a booster tells him it is a blinking impossible buyout.
Tell that to the dude that owns all the crab shacks or whatever.
Yeah, Furtado. What all does he own?
He owns a bunch of fast food joints or the.
He does that mid-range sit-down dining.
like the Landry's.
Yeah. We won bowl games in back-to-back years. I have 5 years on my contract with a blinking impossible buyout. So there ain't no blinking hot seat in my mind. There just ain't. That's from a booster. Blinking impossible. Don't know what blinking impossible is,
that
but
all?
It's blinking impossible. Billy Napier, Florida.
The hottest of the seats.
9-9 right now, and just coming off an embarrassing loss to Kentucky.
Huge buyout, though.
But this
massive.
It's
buyout.
almost a one-game situation. If they would have beaten Kentucky, they're like number 18 or 19
Isn't that
nationally,
weird?
and nobody's saying anything.
$32 million is that buyout, by the way.
He ain't going nowhere.
$32 million. He says fans are upset with Zach Arnett, but it's just too early. But it is a very, very small buyout. If they're like, we really made a mistake, they could get out of Arnett very, very easily because he's only making $3 million a year. And then the last one is Tom Allen. And Tom Allen's buyout is still big, but he says he just changed coordinators.
Boy, Andy swung and missed on this one. There's only one obvious guy that could get fired in season.
Who is that?
It's Tony Elliott with Virginia. He's 0-5 right now. He's lost now.
Year 3?
Year 2.
Year 2.
He's lost 11 of the last 12 games. He's got one Power 5 win in 2 years.
I bet that buyout is way out of Virginia's range.
I don't know. I mean, Virginia's even got a buyout.
Furtada, You say Fertitta. I say Fertitta.
Fertitta?
He owns the Houston Rockets, so he has some money. There you go. That's a little hot seat talk that Brown brings to the table today. We'll talk to Roman Harper on the other side. The show being brought to you in part by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. They bring you Lance's Lock every day. For all your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name Birmingham's, trusted since 1954. It's Hemp Hill Services, 205-229-2090, 229-2090 for our friends at Hemp Hill.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at Scott Forrester TV.
It's time for a little NBA basketball in Birmingham. Legacy Arena, October 12th. Pelicans and Rockets in town, and you need to get your tickets right now. Call them up, 205-719-0850, and book your NBA tickets in Birmingham. 205-719-0850, or just simply go to birminghamsquadron.com. When the Pelicans and Rockets play in Birmingham, you'll get to see local players like Herb Jones and Kyra Lewis Jr., Jabari Smith, as well as superstars Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson. If you become a Squadron season ticket holder, you get complimentary tickets to this huge event right here in the Magic City. Again, get more details and buy those tickets right now. birminghamsquadron.com. Remember, this NBA preseason game sold out in Birmingham last year, so don't get left outside. Get those tickets now. 205-719-0850 or birminghamsquadron.com. Man, I love a good meal. I'm Jim Dunaway. A good meal is what you get with my friend Sterling at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster. We're talking great southern fried chicken, wonderful sides, hand-cut chicken fingers, po' boys, and those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. You got a perfect menu for everybody. Champy's Chicken is perfect for watching the big game, or taking a meal to the lake house, down to the coast, or stay in the restaurant and dine in a great atmosphere. It's all made fresh to order right there on 119 in Alabaster, Champy's Chicken. The wait is over. Tonali has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonali plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonali offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonali leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonali.
You want to look great while supporting your favorite show? You know the place to go is the official Next Round store at nextround.store. Yes, there are .store domains, and we have one. From shirts to hoodies to hats and all kinds of fun stuff, you can rep the Next Round anywhere you go. At the beach, Next Round hats to block out that sun. Up north in the winter, get you a comfy Next Round hoodie. Just need something to put your $20 beer in at a game? Get you a Next Round koozie and throw that thing in your pocket. You never know what stuff Jim's going to make me put in there next. Check it out. It's the Next Round store at nextround.store.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
My blood boils every time I see the highlights from yesterday's game. Now, truthfully, much like a lot of Tampa Bay Rays fans, I was not watching it except on the golf course. I had it in the golf cart while I was playing.
What were you doing? You were like on video? Like,
yeah,
okay,
my
you were
YouTube,
streaming?
Great thing on YouTube TV.
That's
you can
right.
Take it anywhere.
Did you play one of our sponsors?
Not yesterday, no. I was somewhere else. I was on the Muni State course, Oak Mountain State Park.
Oh, okay.
Is where I was yesterday.
Your tax dollars paid.
Do they have a good concession stand?
They do when it's open. It's not open all the time now. So it was really, really good there for when it's open.
They've got something that's off the beaten path that's good there, right?
Oh, the lady there, she does her own homemade pork skins.
That's it, the pork skins. Yeah, I remember that.
It's just unbelievable. They're crunchy and seasoned, but she doesn't make those anymore, and because nobody was buying them except me,
right?
I guess. And every time I walk in there, you got any pork skins? No, I stopped making them,
honey. If I'd have known you was gonna eat this many.
Hey, the best place is Woodward. One of our sponsors,
on the
part of the golf cart. They've got a lady that's got one of those flat grills in there, like from the 1970s, those little hot tops, and you go in there and she'll You fry you up a hot dog or a burger or a grilled cheese or a BLT. It's like you're back in 1977.
I tell you what I've got to get. So with Jeremy Harbin coming to redo my backyard, I'm going to put one of those Blackstones out there.
Yeah. A lot of people swear by those things.
Oh my
man.
God! So Friday night we went to Auburn for the Red Up party, and then we got back, went on a little boat ride,
right?
And then at 3:30 in the morning, my buddy John went out and did us smash burgers on the Blackstone, and they were incredible. But I've heard you can do anything on that Blackstone.
You can.
Our friends at the University of Montevallo will allow you to do anything after your college degree from them. Just jump on montevallo.edu, and check out everything Montevallo has to offer. That includes some great athletics, 23 NCAA Division II scholarship sports, and a lot more. Theater department, business school, any of that. Schedule that in-person tour. Just a great place to go to school. It is Montevallo, the University of Montevallo, montevallo.edu, montevallo.edu. Any update on Roman or anything?
Nope, he's not there.
Okay. Scheduled to be with us here, Roman Harper. We'll move forward, though, with some other conversation that's going on. By the way, Derek writes in a couple of days ago via email. He was asking questions about some of our programming on some of our podcast platforms, and he said, while I've got your attention, Jim, let me throw a show topic out for you. He wants to know, not by stats, but in your opinion, just watching football, who's the best run offense, run defense, best passing offense, best pass defense. So I'd say best run offense, rush offense right now.
Is this SEC or nation?
In the nation.
Okay.
I'd say who runs the football better than anybody else in the country right now. Who is?
I would go Michigan.
I was going to say Michigan too, and I don't know if the stats will back that up.
Well, he said he did not want stats. He said just by you watching eye test.
I would say Michigan. I would say Penn State is right there.
I was just going to see, where they rank in rushing offense.
Those are the two that jump out at me, Penn State, Michigan.
Because obviously Air Force is number one. They're going to own that, but I'm going to discount that because of the style of football they run. But mine and Lance's answer, Michigan is a little bit down the list. Penn State is 29th. Michigan is on down the list. And I'm a little surprised by that. I would have thought you to find them higher.
Where are they?
That's why he specifically said, don't get lost in the stats. I want to know by your eye test.
Right. 41st, 184 a game.
Who stops the run, in your opinion, really well?
Michigan. I mean, really. I think they give up right at 90-something yards a game on the ground.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say Kentucky. I think they do a pretty good job of it.
As I watched the game, Ohio State, their rush defense against Notre Dame, who runs the ball pretty good with estimate. They played pretty good rush defense.
I think, Ohio State would be there. I think Washington, based on the fact that they get these big leads, you got to play from behind, and Washington's defense is really good to begin with.
Something to watch. Power 5, who's the best rush defense in America statistically?
Oregon State?
Miami.
Okay.
So, I mean, keep an eye on those Hurricanes as the ACC season unfolds. They're doing that really well.
Not a big crystal ball guy, but man, I like what the U's doing right now.
You're only rushing 48 yards a game on them right now.
And then he wanted to know best pass offense, best pass D. Again, not getting caught in the stats.
Best pass offense is either Washington or USC. Take your pick.
That's right.
And best pass defense.
Take out one quarter for Alabama.
It's right there.
It's right there right now.
Yeah, it's right there. I think Penn State's pass defense has been really good.
Number one in the nation, by the way.
Is Penn State?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know who's underrated?
Who?
But just somebody who's played. I mean, this is why you take the stats out of it. Just when you're playing in big games, underrated has been Notre Dame.
Number 4 in the nation.
Yeah, Notre Dame has very aggressive with their safeties. They come down and run support as well, but Notre Dame has played some pretty good pass defense against Ohio State and Duke in some of their big games early on.
But you got to look at this. So they've played Navy, Tennessee State, NC State, who just switched quarterbacks, Chattanooga, and then Riley Leonard, who hasn't lit it up as far as throwing the football.
I'll say it again. That's why he did not want to go into the stats, because he just your eye test when you're watching the big games.
Yeah, but I'm saying they're not playing any passing offenses, though.
And that's the thing about Michigan is I agree, even though the stats didn't back it up, I agree that Michigan is the best rush offense, but I mean, who have they played with a pulse? How do I know this? I mean, I watch them and I'm like, they look really good at it, and they stop the run really well.
Because they were good at it last year.
This doesn't mean anything, but they've given up 3, 7, 6, 7, and 7, and 2 of their wins are over 4-1 teams in UNLV and Rutgers. And those 1 losses are to Michigan.
Yeah.
A little bit more college football before we get to the top of the hour. We'll try to catch up with Roman some other time as we continue our conversation about football and also about men's health. Our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama want to remind you they have 35 urologists on hand at 16 locations across the state of Alabama, treating all your urological needs from prostate health to kidney stones. They'll take care of you. Visit urologycentersalabama.com. urologycentersalabama.com to schedule an appointment with our friends at UCA. Brownie.
All right, Roman Harper is with us. He's joining us each week courtesy of mybookie.ag. Don't forget code next round at sign on to get that bonus on your initial deposit there in mybookie.ag. Harp with us a day early because he's traveling tomorrow. What's up, Harp? How are you?
What's up, fellas? I'm good, man. Actually, I'm in New York right now. Trying to figure. I don't know what I want yet. We're like in a whole office. I'm doing my podcasting up here. They got us in the Big Apple, guys. It's pretty cool. Not even
what's your favorite thing to do in New York?
Time. Dude, just not to get mugged and not look at everybody. It's a lot. It's just too many people up here.
Low expectations.
I never feel comfortable every time I'm in New York. I don't know. I don't know how I'd calm it down. I don't get it.
Well, I mean, maybe if
people take selfies. It's weird.
If you loosen that top button, maybe you'll loosen up, be comfortable a little bit more, man. You're
no,
uptight.
Won't happen. Not here. It's not about that. Look, you got to understand, when I was playing football, my neck was too big. I never got to button my tie. My shirt up top, so now I take full advantage.
Yeah, I saw your man Taquillo Spikes Friday night, and you guys do have the two biggest necks that I think I've ever seen in person. But the last time we talked to you was last Friday, or was it last week at this time? I don't even remember. But you were in the car with Jordan Rodgers. You guys were in Lexington, and I asked Jordan if he had any eligibility left to go out for the Auburn Tigers. I'll ask you the same for LSU. If Brian Kelly called you out right now and said, our defense sucks, Hart, we need you out there. I mean, what in the hell is going on with LSU's defense?
I don't think the players are playing as good as they can possibly. I don't think the system, the schematics that they're doing. I'm just showing some tape now. I'm doing a breakdown on them on Saturday morning, and it's like, so the players aren't playing as good as they can. They're not tackling. They're misfitting runs left and right. Their eyes aren't in the right places. And schematically, I see a couple of defensive calls from Matt House, and I'm like, I don't even understand what they're trying to get accomplished on this play call. And so when I have question marks like that, I'm like, all right, well, what are we doing? I even had my man Peanut Tillman in here. I was like, Peanut, have you ever seen a play like this? Like, what are they trying to run? He's like, yeah, I don't know what that is. Like, what is that? I'm like, exactly. So if this is what we don't understand it, how do you think the players are going to react to it? And also be able to make plays while you make that call. And so that's the other thing, that key element to it all is like, okay, well, at the end of the day, how can my players make plays when we make this call? And if we ever forget that, we get so busy and caught up in showing how smart we are and how much we can draw up on the board and all these creative design things. But if the guys don't understand it and they're not able to go out there and execute it, then it's all for nothing anyways, because they're the ones that still have to go out and do it and execute it on the field.
Roman Harper, presented by mybookie.ag. Code next round when you sign on at mybookie.ag to get that sign-on bonus. Mybookie.ag, code next round. Is the Texas A&M pass rush everything the statistics tell me it is? They've got statistically one of the best in the country.
Yeah, I think they're really, really good. First of all, let's just put it all out there, guys. They're highly recruited. They're all highly 4- or 5-star guys. They're highly recruited. They're probably highly paid. And this is what they do. And so it's been really good to see them kind of mature. A lot of these guys were freshmen, sophomores. Now they're juniors and sophomores. So they've aged up. They understand it's a grown man's game. But I will say this. Versus Arkansas helped them out a lot with this whole slide protection that they were doing last week. And you got to understand, Texas A&M likes to shoot the gaps. So their D-line are firing off the ball. They are attacking, penetrating these gaps. And when you slide protection, you create small gaps where these guys are just getting upfield. And right now they're putting a lot of pressure. Arkansas didn't do a great job of getting the ball out early. They just dominated Auburn, and then Peyton Thorne couldn't get the ball out of his hand. He was just frozen in time. I think directly more straight dropbacks or more regular pass sets do you a better good versus Texas A&M's D-line right now than actually doing all this movement and some other things. But they are really, really good. They're highly touted, highly recruited. Like I said, probably highly paid too. So they're earning every dollar right now. And it's really good to see them kind of mature and grow into the players that we all expected them to be. And because of that, it makes everything else on that defense go. when you don't have to blitz to get pressure on a quarterback, now you're able to keep 6, 7 guys back in coverage and just allow you to get more and more of the pass lanes. I think that is why Texas A&M is playing better, more complete defense.
I mean, it goes back to Kenny Stabler, Boomer Esiason. Left-handed quarterbacks to me just never look they just never look like they have the strongest arms. And it may just be my eyes, but Max Johnson looks like he's set up for throwing 3 interceptions against Alabama's DBs this weekend. Does he have a strong arm? Do any left-handed quarterbacks have a strong arm?
Yeah, some of them do. But it just looks different because it is different. The ball turns a different way. So the spin on the ball is different. And then also, Max Johnson doesn't have the strongest arm, but he makes smart plays and smart decisions. But he does have a turnover bug. He will fumble. He has a tendency to throw an interception or two, too. It's very interesting to see how he's trying to grow. I thought he had a great game versus Auburn. Arkansas up and down at times. But, this Alabama defense is going to be the best defense he's faced. And so it'll be really interesting to see how he does versus them. And the biggest thing with me when you're playing a left-handed quarterback is that it flips everything. The strong side now becomes the left-handed side versus most offensive teams. They're all right-handed because the quarterback's right-handed. So the tight end is on the left-hand side of the defense. Now, having a left-hand quarterback, it's on the right-hand side. So it changes a little bit, especially with the hash marks in college.
Kentucky plays Georgia in Athens 10 times. How many times does Kentucky win?
2.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. There's hope.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I like this Kentucky team. Number one, they know who they are. It's going to be interesting, though, because I don't think Georgia's going to allow them to run up and down the field the way Florida did. They're going to fit that run a little bit different. Kentucky normally runs a lot of zone, outside zone, inside zone. But they found a weakness in Florida's defense, running more G schemes. So they were pulling a couple guys, getting them on the edges. Florida fit the run terrible. And Kentucky never had to adjust. Devin Leary's not going to be able to throw for 86 yards and beat Georgia. Not going to happen. They're going to have to be able to throw the ball a little bit more. And that's not just on Devin Leary, but it's also on the receivers. They got to catch it, too, when he throws it to them. So Kentucky's going to have to play their best game, and Georgia's going to have to play down. But usually that's what happens. When Alabama was on top for all those years, it's not like they're not on top now, but they're still up there. But that was the biggest difference, was a great quarterback, and all of a sudden that team played down a little bit.
All right, he is Roman Harper, SEC Network. Where are you guys? Forgive me for having to ask. Where are you guys this week?
We are in iHeart Radio Studios on like West 55th, and it's a whole bunch of numbers. But yeah,
no, I mean SEC Nation, SEC Nation,
55th and 6th. Oh, SEC Nation. Sorry, yeah, we're in Athens this weekend.
Okay,
sorry guys, I'm all over. Hey, what's up to my man Peanut?
Hey, what's up, Peanut? Peanut Tillman, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for ruining football for running backs, Peanut.
He said thanks for ruining everything for running backs, Peanut. Yeah. He's always punching the ball out.
I know.
Now that's all anybody talks about. Oh, a peanut punch.
Give a shout out, SEC Nation. Give a shout out if y'all in Athens and somebody in Georgia actually punches the ball out.
Okay. All right. He said give a shout out if somebody actually punches the ball out.
We'll do that. The peanut punch. All right, Harp. Have fun, man. Stay safe up there.
Hey, thank you guys as always, man. Every week, hopefully, my Tide handles up. Be a big game this weekend.
We'll see.
We'll talk to y'all.
LT thinks they lose. Okay.
See you, Harp. Harp with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. He's presented each week by MyBookie.ag. Code next round when you sign on to MyBookie.ag. That initial deposit, you get a bonus, a special bonus with code next round at MyBookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. MyBookie.ag.
And before we take our top of the hour break here, you had a family friend that you sent Hemphill over to just yesterday, right?
I actually did. It seems like I'm calling the guys at Hemphill Services.
You have a lot of friends.
Every other week. But that's what these guys are here for. 0% for 60 months for qualified customers, plus free 10-year labor warranty when you mention the next round. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys at Hemphill Services. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. They are a locally owned and operated independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Call them today, 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
Jesse, you're right, man. Michael Vick had a rifle. He was a left-hander. Douglas goes. Steve Young had a strong arm back in the day. He did. I'd go Vick a little stronger than Young. I don't know no stats just by my eyesight there. But it does seem like those lefties float them out there a little bit. Float them out
It's
there.
the criticism of Tua that he doesn't have the strongest deep ball. He's one of the most accurate passers in NFL history.
He lands it like on an aircraft carrier.
I've always asked if you could have your quarterback have the strongest arm or be the most accurate, which one would you pick?
Most accurate.
Yeah. It's the one that gets used the most.
We're back in a moment right here on TNR.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
If you're looking for a fun golf atmosphere that is laid back with a peaceful environment, the Meadows Golf Course in Harpersville, right off of Highway 280, is perfect for you. Just a short drive from Birmingham, this 18-hole, 200-acre track with rolling fairways and ample greens is the definition of peacefulness of the country just miles from the city. Enjoy a great lunch before your round and a cocktail on the wraparound porch after 18. Come see us today. The Meadows Golf Course in Harpersville, right off of Highway 280. IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, and compression therapy, all under one roof. It's our friends at Hydra Live Therapy. IV therapy treatments are packed with nutrients to increase energy, reduce stress and anxiety, and boost your immune system, and more. If you mention the Next Round at checkout, save 20% off any service. You can join the IV League today. Members are rewarded with deep discounts. Make sure you ask about that. Hydra Life Therapy open 7 days a week. Homewood, Tuscaloosa, and coming soon to Greystone.
You have all heard of Red Wing Shoes, but what is Red Wing Shoes? It's the place where men buy boots, plain and simple. Who are Red Wing's customers? They are construction workers, warehouse employees, college students, the guy that fixes your AC, the guy at the end of the bar, the IT guy. Red Wing is a father, Red Wing is a son, Red Wing is a cult following shared by all men. A classic, comfortable pair of cool boots with a story to tell. What's your Red Wing story? Red Wing Shoe Stores, located in Pelham and Trussville.
The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the Next Round host a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and bourbon, our weekly college football conversation, while sipping on some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And in our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, LT takes off the gloves for in-depth conversations with stars like Taylor Hicks, presented by Redmont Vodka. Find these podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple, Spotify, and on our website, nextroundlive.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round. You've heard me for years talk about our friends at Bromberg's Jewelers, and we welcome you to stop by and see that great customer service at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations. But we'd also love for you to check out their new online shop. They've got plenty to choose from. Great gifts, big and small. Available online, they've got David Yurman, Tudor watches, select diamond and gemstone jewelry, William Henry, seasonal and favorite giftware items, and baby gifts as well. They've even got an online sale section. For more information, brombergs.com.
DryTech Water Restoration is a locally owned company that specializes in mold remediation, fire and water damage cleanup, and SteraMist services. DryTech's goal is to provide clients with expert guidance when dealing with any home disaster. DryTech's highly trained specialists are available 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. They will work closely with you and your insurance company to make sure the process is stress-free as possible. Call DryTech today, 205-637-0143. The moment you discover damage to your home, DryTech's team will handle the rest.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Landmine believer in the Vulcan Tire and Automotive chat room. I don't think Alabama's O-line versus A&M's D-line's as big of a mismatch as people think. After the first series versus State, Alabama's O-line was very good in pass pro, and Milroe made a couple of nice third down throws because of it, because he had time.
It's interesting, talking to a guy like Harp that watches the game differently than any of us watch it, right? And you can bring up the stats that say that, but then Harp goes deeper in it and says one reason the stats are so good against Arkansas was their blocking scheme. Yeah. So you got to think, it's not to say Alabama can keep them out of the backfield, but you got to think Alabama watched that and said, we can't use that strategy. That did not work for Arkansas. Let's do something else, right? I mean, that's the whole purpose of watching film.
Douglas says Miami put 48 on Texas A&M. Let's not forget that. Texas A&M playing host to Alabama this weekend is one of the big games, not a sneaky good one. We'll get to that coming up a little bit later on in this segment. Elijah McAllister, he is the captain of the Auburn Tigers. He joins us at 10:45 a little bit later on this hour. Odie's brings you part of the show.
Rockstar tonight is Wednesday night, and that is?
trivia, my friends.
Odie's team trivia. Me, Rocky, Will Haver out tonight, so that means Ryan Brown is pinch hitting tonight. Get there early, enjoy some of the great food from Rodney Davis, the award-winning wings, delicious burgers, my personal favorite, the Diablo sandwich, ice-cold beer buckets, full of Bud Light. It's a Birmingham institution. Join us tonight, Crestline Village, Odie's Tavern.
All right. Pro Football Focus, who does a lot of stats and good graphics and good reads. They send us out all the time if you follow those guys on social media. They have their mock draft, top 10 picks NFL draft for next year. From what they've seen so far this year, Caleb Williams, obviously number 1 overall to the Chicago Bears. Number 2 overall, Marvin Harrison Jr. to the Chicago Bears.
So it's like the Bears suck or something.
Number 3 overall, Drake May to the Las Vegas Raiders. Latu from the UCLA, the edge rusher to the Broncos. J.J. McCarthy to the Vikings, 5th overall.
Boy, it seems
Does
like
J.J. McCarthy look like an NFL quarterback to you?
He does look like an NFL quarterback to me, but there's so many good guys out there. The problem is the system he's in right now. The 3 turnovers, I mean, if you take those away, and it's hard to take those away, that was a really bad game, but he's played clean football.
Can I just ask you this? If you're a Vikings fan,
yeah,
do you feel like I've traded old Kirk Cousins for young Kirk Cousins if I draft J.J. McCarthy?
Exactly. I mean, pick any other Pac-12 quarterback. Bo Nix, 8th overall in the NFL mock draft from Pro Football Focus. Now, that's not McShay or Kuiper or, anybody else with the NFL Network. That's Pro Football Focus. But they've got Bo Nix to the Patriots.
That's so soon. The only thing I'll say about Bo is you've got a reinvented Bo over the last couple of years, but your biggest problem is still the accuracy. When you watch this Oregon offense, guys are running wide open. NFL is not going to happen. Michael Penix, much more of a accurate passer to me. So I don't know why Penix wouldn't be in front of Bo, but I think Bo, right now he's a first-round guy.
Bo Nix is different than any quarterback the Patriots have had for the last 30 years.
In what way? Because he can run the football?
I mean, in this way, do you see him anything similar to Drew Bledsoe, Tom Brady, or Mac Jones? Are there any similarities you see between those guys? I mean, that Bo Nix doesn't look like those guys at all. Do you see any similarities there? I'm just saying.
The last quarterback that was on that roster that reminds me of Bo Nix is Michael Bishop out of Kansas State.
It's been a minute.
It's been a long time.
He's like Mac Jones. He played in an Iron Bowl.
Okay, they do have that in common, yes.
Did Bo ever win an Iron Bowl?
Yes, he did. In that one you were talking about.
All right, so Mac have both won Iron Bowls. Bo and Tom Brady both have beaten Alabama in their careers.
That is true, yes.
Check. I cannot connect Drew Bledsoe.
But that said,
Drew Bledsoe and Bo both played in the Pac-12.
Boom, there you go. All right.
He's like all of those.
You blew up my argument,
6 degrees of Bo Nix.
But all that said is there is a really good chance if the Patriots drafted Bo Nix, and it's a long way to get there, Bill Belichick ain't the one coaching him. I mean, if I told you this is Belichick's last year in New England, you would say what?
I wouldn't be surprised. You got to shut it down sooner or later.
82-year-old Robert Kraft, his owner, 71-year-old Bill Belichick. It's a big story in all the national publications and websites and everything today is when does Bill Belichick hang it up? That's becoming the conversation. So maybe it ends up being this year. And does he get forced out when it's time to do that? Football continues in the NFL Thursday night. College football tonight, including Jack State, Middle Tennessee, 7 o'clock on ESPNU, and more baseball today in the wild card games. 4 of those today. All the plays, lanceslock.com, lanceslock.com. It is time for the sneaky good games. Brought to you today by our friends at the Pants Store, your game day headquarters. Alabama and Auburn game day polos, hats, and quarter zips. Choose from famous name brands like Gentile, Cutter & Buck, Antigua, Elephant Head, and Taylor & Mick. Ladies, look no further for your game day needs. They've got the skirts, the rompers, the clear bags, and the booties. Find any of your game day needs anywhere in the country at pantsstore.com, or any of the great 6 locations in person. Auburn, Crestline, Hoover, Huntsville, Leeds, and Tuscaloosa. Rockstar, hit it.
The College Football Spotlight.
This weekend's sneaky good game.
There are some obvious good games, but on the sneaky good games, Brown, you worked hard on this. I'll let you go first.
Oh, thanks, Jim. I'm a hard worker.
Go ahead.
We're going to go 3 o'clock Fox.
Dude, you guys, when did you draw that?
This morning.
Yeah.
That was probably, what did I have in that, Jim? 10 minutes, maybe 10, 15 minutes?
It looked to be closer to 20.
20 minutes.
Yeah, 20 minutes.
Kansas UCF coming off a gut-wrenching loss. They don't have a Big 12 win, or a Big 10 win for that matter.
Yeah.
They have a Big 12 win yet.
In fairness, though, on the road in Manhattan against Kansas State, they were in that game until about late third quarter, playing really, really well on the road there. Had chances to win it, had the lead a couple of times.
And led almost the entire Baylor game.
As I was about to say, led almost the entire Baylor game, 35-7.
Were you going to say that?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they lost it at the end.
They did, 36-35. The old comeback from Baylor.
The old comeback. And Kansas, with their backup quarterback coming off the tough loss to Texas. You got two teams coming off tough losses here. This will be a fun game, I think. I think you get a lot of points.
I agree. I think it'll be a good game.
What is Jalen Daniels, or Jalen, Daniels? I do that a lot. What is his status?
I haven't seen.
Yeah.
Late scratch, relatively speaking, last week.
Texas apparently did not know until right before kick that Daniels wasn't even playing for Kansas. 3 o'clock Fox if you want to watch that one.
LT, just so we don't duplicate, I'll go ahead and give you another shot at it here. You got a game?
Yeah, I didn't have time to do the artwork. I guess I need to get it early.
That's a good one. That's my upset alert, in fact.
Oregon State at Cal. You see that 9 p.m. Pac-12 Network. Not a lot of people will be watching this. I do like your upset alert. I think Cal will come to play.
You do?
Yeah.
Well,
finally, we may get the goose egg off the board, boys.
Might not, though.
Brown, I agree. I put 2 because we didn't talk about this. I didn't want to duplicate. I agree with you on UCF and Kansas. But I'm going to go Fresno State, Wyoming, with all the big games, sneaky good. Number 24 in the country. This team's only lost on the road at Texas, and they could win the game outright.
They could. And Fresno is considered to be the top Group 5 team.
Them are Air Force.
And look where it is.
It's on Fox, Jim.
Maine Fox in prime time at 7 o'clock. Hard to be sneaky good on a Maine over-the-air network.
Hell of a coaches with Jeff Tedford and Craig Bohl.
In a wonderful setting right there in Laramie. Nighttime in the fall in Laramie. Get a little foliage on the trees in the end zone by the scoreboard. Fresno State, Wyoming, 7 o'clock on Fox, or UCF in Kansas for those of you on the West Coast, 3 o'clock on Fox there. Those are my 2 sneaky good games brought to you by our friends at the Pan Store, panstore.com. Brownie.
Not the best prime window, so that's actually one of the better games in your prime time window tonight, or Saturday night.
Yep.
This is a football Saturday where it just kind of gets worse as it goes. Starts out really good in the 11 o'clock and a little bit worse in the 2:30 and then the prime window.
I mean, Kentucky, Georgia, Notre Dame, Louisville, Arkansas, Ole Miss, those are good games in the prime window.
Yeah, I mean, I think Texas Tech Baylor will be a fun game.
I don't know how good Kentucky and Georgia is going to be. I think y'all have more faith in that. And I don't know how good Notre Dame Louisville is going to be.
Well, let's look at history, Brown. As
All right, Jim.
Look at Kentucky and Georgia. Their last 3 meetings, 16-6 in the bitter cold in Lexington.
Mm-hmm.
It was 14-7 at the half. The last time they were in Athens. Then Georgia scored 16 straight, and then Mark Stoops called a timeout with 4 seconds left, threw a late touchdown to cover.
Wasn't it like an 8-minute drive?
Yeah,
that Kentucky had?
It was embarrassing.
You got to play to the end. You got to play to the end.
Timeout. Down, what was it? 14-7, 16 straight. What does that make it? 30-7?
Yeah.
30-7.
Yeah,
it
was 4 seconds left to throw a touchdown.
There are 2 head coaches in college football that absolutely know what the point
Well, I know
spread
it's
is.
Stoops. Give me a hint on the other.
Oh, James Franklin. He did it again this past week. He does it almost every week. Through late to cover the number.
And then it was 14-3 in Lexington. So 16-6 in Lexington, 14-7 at the half. Last time in Athens, and 14-3 the final score in Lexington. It's not in Lexington, it's in Athens, but this may be the best Kentucky team they've had there. But it has not been a very intense rivalry, the show notes will show you. Since 2009, which is the last time Kentucky won over Georgia, Kentucky has beaten every SEC team since then. Excuse me, Kentucky's lost to every SEC team since then. Kentucky's lost to every SEC team since then except for Kentucky and Texas A&M. They've only played once.
Georgia has lost.
Georgia, right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Say that again. Say it again.
Georgia, since 2009, has lost to every team in the SEC. Better if I just read my writing here. Since that 2009 loss, they've lost to everyone except for Kentucky and Texas A&M.
But they play Kentucky every year, is your point there.
Texas A&M, they've only played once.
Right.
They've even lost since 2009 to Vandy twice.
That's right, yeah.
Which is surprising. To Vandy twice.
I mean, 'cause Georgia has owned this thing, as your numbers show right there. And I think people looked at Georgia's rushing attack last week against Florida and say, boy, if Ray Davis can do that, I mean, look, and then they go to the Georgia-Auburn game and say, man, Georgia gave up 200 rush yards to Auburn. Ray Davis just ran all over Florida. This is a great matchup for Kentucky.
Yeah. Kirby's going to challenge that defense.
Yep, but I think you also have to dig deeper in the numbers, Lance, and how many of those rush yards came from Auburn quarterbacks?
Oh, the majority.
That's right. When you go look at the actual traditional rush yards, they weren't there for Auburn. And that's why I don't put those two and two together and say, because Ray Davis just ran all over Florida, he did, by the way, does not mean he's going to run all over a Georgia team that gave up 200 rush yards to Auburn when Auburn couldn't throw the football to save their life.
In fact, you would say probably Georgia stacks the box and does a lot of man-on-man coverage with their great DBs against their receivers.
I'd see how good Devin Leary is.
Force Devin Leary to throw the football. That's exactly what you would end up trying to do in this game. That's in prime time, part of that prime time window Brownie was talking about. Michigan, Minnesota, nobody's thinking PJ's boys are going to get up in a home game against Michigan to make that interesting?
I just don't know how they score on this Michigan defense. I think it's another one of these situations where Michigan has not given up more than 7 points in a game. You know, maybe they get to 14 this week, but they're not going to be able to manufacture a lot of points.
And nobody will have it on their TV, Brownie.
What?
ESPN2, Texas Tech, and Baylor because the teams have lost so much. But that'll be a sneaky good game with Blake Shapen back, that Baylor atmosphere, and Texas Tech is still a good football team. They've just lost a lot of games.
Yeah, so disappointing. Texas.
Lost a lot of games. At one point, you probably thought that could have been for the lead of the Big 12.
That's a possibility.
Yeah, so that's some of the games that are happening this weekend. The show being brought to you by our friends at Woodhouse Day Spa. Listen, we've talked already about we're basically 50 days away from Thanksgiving and the holiday shopping season. Is there a better gift during the holidays for the loved one in your life than our friends at Woodhouse Day Spa?
Well, it's something that the wife or girlfriend's going to absolutely love. And the thing is, you don't have to really put a lot of thought into it because they've got 70 different options on that menu, including massages, body treatment, skincare, waxing, nail services. So if you get her a gift card, she's going to absolutely love it. Or for the women out there, you get your guy a gift card. He's going to love it. Dunaway, you like facials and massages.
I love a good massage, LT.
Yeah. Pedicures.
I do. I like a pedicure. Got one this weekend.
Birmingham.woodhousespas.com. You can order those gift cards 24/7 online, or you can stop by the Woodhouse Day Spa right there at the Summit Shopping Centers. Tell Casey and Stuart the next round sent you.
Okay, one of your non-news notes today. We talked about the top 400 richest people in the United States by Forbes. That included Michael Jordan, the first athlete who got there yesterday. The three highest, just so you can dream. Three highest, richest people in America. Elon Musk, $251 billion, according to Forbes. Is
going to be tough to top him.
Mm-hmm. He is number one. Bezos is $161 billion. So between Elon and Bezos, you almost have $100 billion that separates those.
Well,
that's a gap.
My family is doing everything we can to help Bezos catch up.
All the time.
No, I think a lot of people around here, and I see the trucks just flying all over the neighborhood. The thing is, Bezos was the guy, the first on pace for $1 trillion just a couple of years ago, and Musk went right past him.
Larry Ellison, $158 billion. I'm not familiar with Larry Ellison.
Gosh, I know what he owns. What is it?
Yeah, I do too. It's not AOL.com.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, what is Larry Ellison?
The Chief Technology Officer of Oracle.
Oracle, that's right.
Oracle. Yeah. What does Oracle do?
She tells the future in the Matrix. I know that.
Yeah. A lot of stuff done away.
The old computer company there, Jimmy D.
Yeah, that's out in the what used to be the tech center of the world, right? And then that where Steph and them used to play Oracle.
Oracle Arena, yeah. Yep. What's he worth? Because I'm about to give you a little factoid about him.
$158 billion.
He's got 4 ex-wives.
Oh, yeah, that hurts.
He used to have more than $158 billion.
He was a little close to Elon.
Yeah, but I'm going to say he's probably got a pretty good staff of attorneys that have ironclad prenups.
I would imagine those last two probably didn't walk away as much as maybe the first two there.
Yeah, and I'm told the lottery's up to $1 billion again. Is that true?
Yeah, I think so.
If you'd like to join the club with LeBron and Tiger Woods, go play the lottery. Hit that mega million or whatever it is, mega billion in this case. All right, when we come back, more college football. Chris Felica used to be on College Game Day. He has now disappeared onto Fox. and is the guy that is into gambling and stuff. He tweets out a tweet yesterday about, is this the most important game in Nick Saban's coaching career this weekend? I'll show you the tweet. We'll talk about that next right here on TNR.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
Do you need extra cash handy? Look no further than Legacy Credit Union for whatever loan your lifestyle requires. It only takes a few minutes to apply and request the amount you need to give you peace of mind. With affordable low rates and manageable payback plans, a Legacy Lifestyle loan is crafted just for you. Apply online today at legacycreditunion.com/join. Lifestyle loans from Legacy. Terms and conditions may apply. Legacy is federally insured by the NCUA.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who miss the fairway all day and still pull out the big stick, the type of guys who will always prefer to be behind the grill than in front of the camera, and the men who never let their friends forget about a high school nickname. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Who wants to settle for a single TV? With more TVs, bigger screens, plus our fabulous scenic views, there's more to watch at Twin Peaks.
You could win a Dodge Challenger RT or your share of $25,000 in free play and cash at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Play the latest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. You could be a winner too. Come win your share during the Challenger RT and $25,000 giveaway at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Drawings October 27th and 28th. Located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
The Next Round is so much more than the show you get from 9 to 1 each day. So make sure to head to our official YouTube channel at Next Round Live and subscribe to get all of our latest content. We, of course, have plenty of specialty content and shorts based all around the sports in the heart of the SEC. But we also talk pro sports, gambling, lifestyle and entertainment, and so much more. It's the Next Round YouTube channel where you never know what you're going to find next. Subscribe now to see the latest content and get notifications when we go live. That's at Next Round Live on YouTube.
Harbin's Outdoors is an award-winning landscape company specializing in installing custom fiberglass pools, landscaping, and hardscaping. Jeremy and his team are a one-stop shop for your pool construction needs. Harbin's does it all, from the install to the final hardscapes around the pool and everything in between. It's beautiful work. You can find them on Instagram at Harbins_outdoors to see it for yourself, or call or text Jeremy directly, 205-300-0718. That's 205-300-0718. At Harbins, you and your home are the center of all that they do.
The Next Round Golf Cart is here. Your chance to play 4 area golf courses for just $89. Get 18 holes in cart at Limestone Springs, Cross Creek, The Meadows, and the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. A $247 value for just $89. Get your golf cart now at nextround.store.
Brown, it's time to open up a nice, refreshing Coca-Cola Zero from the ice-cold cooler we have behind you there. Show that brownie tight shot. All those nice ice-cold beverages back there. You usually drink yours when at 11 o'clock?
11 o'clock. 11 o'clock. We've got a little lunch coming up here today, so I'm going to go to the Diet Coke.
Okay. The lunch is where I'm going, though. What's coming up?
Oh, really?
Yeah, what's coming up today?
I'm told Milo's Fries, Jimmy D.
Yeah, we're about to get those Milo's Fries that we've been telling you about all week long. They'll be up here at 11:30-ish today, and get the opportunity to try their new loaded fries, their classic crinkle-cut fries topped with queso, bacon, and jalapenos, which makes their Mexi fries, and 100% pure ground beef, grilled onions, Milo sauce, and queso to top their saucy fries. Download the Milo's app today. Use the promo code NEXTROUND to try one of their new loaded fries for free. That's Next Round in the mobile app with our friends at Milo's, the fries for free. And as we were talking, LT, before you walk back in, they're coming up today.
They are. Yeah, Mary Duncan, the fine folks at Milo's are going to be up here today. They're bringing a slew of the new fries. Mary Duncan and Mary Rose. So looking forward to that.
Oh, Mary. I like that. Two Marys coming up here.
Oh,
That's a rare.
the one thing that got his attention is that.
Will you do the Andrew Dice Clay Travis bit? Oh, very, very.
Mary, Mary, quite contrary.
Hey, we've got a Rose question in our 4 downs today.
Rose?
Oh,
Yeah.
Are you ready to do that?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, let's
Gotta give me a second to pull it, but yeah.
Pete Rose?
He might be in there.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do our 4 downs today then. Brought to you by our great friends at Slice. We'll get to Elijah McAllister in the next segment. Slice Pizza, great place for lunch or dinner.
Our buddy Heath and his wife Mel were in on Monday, came by to check out the studios for the first time, and they live up in Nashville, and he said, look, man, when I'm in town, I got to go to Slice. So that's where they were heading for lunch afterwards. It's that good. Local pizza, local ingredients, created by the late Jeff Bajaya. His brothers Jason and Chris continue the legacy. 4 great locations. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
Keith and Mel, quite contrary.
Keep going.
First down.
Liv Riders, 56 years old today. If I asked you better work, his Hard Knocks voiceovers or Ray Donovan?
His Hard Knocks voiceovers. Like, I think one time we had a long time ago, I think it was a Rockstar question. In his 4 downs, if you had to pick somebody to narrate your life story at the end of your life, who would it be? Mine would have been Liv Schreiber.
I'll tell you, so you and Jennifer are always looking for something new to watch?
Yeah.
Ray
You
Donovan.
guys would like Ray Donovan.
Would we? Give me the
Really good.
Give me a synopsis.
So
real quick.
he's
a sports agent.
No, he's a cleaner. So like the first scene is basketball player wakes up, dead chick in his room.
Yeah.
They make the call. Ray Donovan comes to clean it up.
Right.
But there's a lot of tangents to it. His old father, who's part of the Irish mob, comes back into the mix.
She's suggested us watching Mad Men over again, like for a second time.
I would try. So I tapped
I'll
out of Ray
try Ray
Donovan
Donovan.
like probably year 5. I mean, it started to drag a little bit. First few seasons are really good
Okay.
though. John Voight's great.
I did Mad Men because I'd stayed off of it for a couple of years, watched it to the end, and then went back and rewatched it again. It is a great second time through. I'm this close to either starting Game of Thrones or Sopranos for the second time through. Probably will wait until the offseason.
Yeah, I've seen both 3 times through, which is crazy, but you still forget so many good moments.
That's right.
So it's worth it.
That's right.
Second down.
Susan Sarandon, 77 years old, believe it or not. Better known for Bull Durham or Thelma and Louise.
She's still dating Tim Robbins?
I thought they got married.
I think she's better known for Thelma and Louise, but her favorite role for me was in Bull Durham.
Annie liked to get after it, didn't she?
She did, but she was,
She was only a seasonal slut, right?
Yeah, she was cosmic though. I really enjoyed.
Who was
her spirit?
Who was the other female in Thelma and Louise?
Gina Davis.
Gina Davis, that's right.
Yeah, it was Brad Pitt's first big role.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt was a little bit of a touchy guy in Thelma and Louise.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go Thelma and Louise.
He had a beer gut in that, didn't he?
No, I think he was. Well, I remember he was shirtless. I remember I paused it. I mean, a friend of mine paused it.
Yeah. Ashley's rewatching Sopranos and now she's done that with Sopranos and now doing Entourage. Ashley, I've probably seen Entourage 4 or 5 times start to finish.
Boy, I tried to go back. I gave up Entourage at the end. I love me some Ashley, but boy, I just don't like Entourage.
Yeah. Oh, I loved Entourage.
There's just no likable characters outside of Ari Gold.
I always thought Vinny Chase and you had a lot in common.
I mean, dark hair, bigger
Male.
lips.
Yeah, you're both males.
Yeah, both males.
Yeah. Ashley, when you watched Entourage, let us know if you think that
Adrian Grenier is his name.
That LT's a little bit of Vinny Chase and I'm E and that's drama over there and Rockstar's Turtle.
He was the worst character, by the way. So you're self-proclaiming yourself E?
Yeah, I am E. Yeah.
Is it just because he landed Sloan?
No. Sloan is hot, but what's up, Sloan? I'm just.
Lunsford B. Sloan.
Little E was always the one that was worried about the rules.
He was such a dildo.
We got to do this today, Vinny. We got to do this. Yeah. So I'm
Third down.
Alicia Silverstone is 47 years old. If I asked you, better in her prime in the Aerosmith videos in the early 90s, I think Crazy. What else was she in?
Crazy, Amazing, and Crying.
Yeah, I mean, they were good videos. Or her in Clueless. So I still think Clueless is one of the more underrated films out there.
Yeah, she was good in Clueless, but was she 18 years old in those videos, Aerosmith?
I mean, do the math. So it takes
was
it back.
the album.
Yeah, I mean, close.
Yeah.
Okay, if
too close to comment on probably.
If she was 18,
his daughter was also in those a couple of those videos.
Liv
doing
Tyler?
the same thing. Yes.
Yeah.
if she was 18, she was hot in those videos. If not, she drove really well for
So
a teenager.
I think those videos were 93, so you take it back 30 years. Yeah, she was 17, 18 years old. Now, Clueless was 96, though, so she was definitely
So I'm going to safely go
in college.
Clueless here, Dunaway. Clueless for me.
Yeah.
4th down.
Derrick Rose, 35. We're going to skip right over him. Former MVP, by the way.
Derrick Rose, good
Reinvented
player.
that career.
That's right.
But if I asked you bigger Rose career, Axel or Pete?
Oh, I got to go Pete. I mean, best hitter, one of the best hitters of all time.
The all-time
More
hits
than
leader.
anybody, yeah. Axl Rose, I mean, they were good, really good rock star for a decade before his voice started falling off.
They were the king of the world, I would say, from 89 to 92.
Yeah.
That's right.
They
So
were
that's
just
3
everywhere.
years. I mean, think about that, just 3 years.
88.
What I'm
Okay,
saying,
that's
like,
4
they
years.
busted up, like I'm saying, when they're at their prime, they were also doing that tour with Metallica when they the riots in Toronto. But
Sweet Child of Mine was 88, right?
yeah, the Appetite for Destruction,
87,
88.
yeah.
But once they started touring, and then when Use Your Illusion came out, and they did a massive tour like through 1992, playing all over the world, like thousands upon thousands.
Yeah,
of people.
I saw the Appetite for Destruction tour, and I saw the Use Your Illusion tour. I loved them. But Pete Rose, think about Big Red Machine, reinvented himself with the Phillies, winning a championship. What's stranger, though, how about this? Axl Rose actually fronted an AC/DC tour, or Pete Rose got his record hit with the Montreal Expos.
He fronted the AC/DC tour with a broken leg. He had to do it in a wheelchair. Which is
Wow.
even better.
That's bad.
But I mean, if I would have told you back in the 70s, Pete Rose is going to break the all-time hits record with this organization called the Montreal Expos, or if I would have told you, hey, Axl, man, in 1992, you know what? He's one day going to front an AC/DC
I
tour.
mean, he may have the second best team in the SEC East right now, too. So
Charles says Rose Bowl is the greatest rose, according to Joel Klatt all the time.
That's pretty good.
That's all right there. That is our 4 downs today. Brought to you by our friends at Slice.
Yeah, don't forget about that $75 carry-out special 7 days a week. You get 12 of the fire-baked wings. You get 2 of the specialty pizzas, half pan of the salad. It's only $75. All 4 locations, Lakeview, Vestavia, Montevallo, Crestline Park. For more information, SliceBirmingham.com.
All right, Chris Felica, the Bear, as he used to be on game day, sends out this tweet yesterday. It says, "Is Saturday the most significant game in the Saban era at Alabama? A loss would mean 2 losses by the end of October for the first time since his first season. National title hopes all but dashed, as many as may be the SEC West title chances as well. With the loss signified, the key Bama rivals in the SEC have arrived and closed the gap, with NIL meaning they are going nowhere fast. Or is it just a blip on the radar?" Interesting conversation, which I'm sure everyone will reach the same conclusion and react with level heads. He's being sarcastic at the end. Josh Pate, friend of the show, Late Kick Josh, said 2011 national championship game was the most important game in the Saban era, because if they had lost that game to LSU, it would have been 2 losses in 1 year. LSU would have been national champions again, would have been the second one for Les Miles at LSU, and would not, Alabama wasn't guaranteed to win it again in 12. They may have not got the benefit of the doubt to be in the game in 12 after losing to Johnny Football.
I mean, I love Josh. I would make an argument the 09 SEC championship game was bigger.
To shut down Urban and move past them?
Yeah, I mean, because in one fell swoop, you put yourself in the national championship game and started the process of ending your biggest rival in the SEC at that point.
I think 2 really, really good calls there. But I don't have a problem with this. I think it's legitimate. I mean, if you've got a second loss first week of October in the regular season for back-to-back years for the first time in his tenure at Alabama in 17 years, that's significant, because the door or the walls are closing in on all the great programs, because there's so many good programs right now.
I would tell you that if they win on Saturday, then this will fast forward to the Tennessee week.
Yeah.
Is this the biggest game in Nick Saban's era?
Yeah.
Because everyone now is got Saban on the clock, right?
Right. And if you look at it from that perspective, Lance, like, for the future of Nick Saban, however long that future is, maybe this is it. But if I take the totality of his career, I don't think I can say this is the biggest game he's coached. or his biggest win, or whatever you want to call it. If I look at the totality of his career, if I consider all the past, there's zero chance.
Well, I think this is a landmark. How about that? Maybe not most significant.
Well, if you consider his future, like, what's this mean for his future?
I mean, this might signify that Nick Saban's never going to wait. He's only had one undefeated season to begin with, right? Or two.
Well,
2020 and 2009, right?
Yeah.
If you start to finish,
But is he ever going to have a one-loss season again?
I don't know.
It's going to get more and more difficult.
But again, that's about the end. To Brown's point, the 2009 SEC championship game, then the national championship game. If you lose to Texas, now you don't even have a national championship. And then 2010, did Cam still go? Do you win it in 2010? Is that team hungry?
He was still going to win some, though. Yeah. I just think the thing is now, is he ever going to win another one? I said in the offseason, I don't think he does.
I can give you a dozen bigger games than this one if I consider his whole career. Games he's already coached that were bigger than what this one is.
Yeah, but this is landmark game.
But if they win it, I don't think anybody will walk away from Saturday saying it's a landmark game.
Yeah.
If he beats Texas A&M on Saturday, everybody's like, hey, Alabama beat Texas A&M.
Tennessee next. Okay. Got to go to Kentucky.
But on the other side,
it's only a landmark if he loses
right.
Which, by the way, is every game he's coached at Alabama since 2009.
True.
Everyone has been.
That's not
they've
true.
rushed the freaking field every time this
but
guy
nobody,
loses.
I really don't recall outside of when they were going through the Clemson back and forth, and the only discussion there, the narrative was, is Clemson become the top dog in college football? Now the narrative in back-to-back to lose regular seasons is going to, is this what we're getting from Nick Saban here on out?
Let me ask you this though: how do you? And I don't. This is probably going to be impossible to answer. How are we going to view Nick Saban going to the playoffs when these playoffs expand? Because you can't believe that even if they lose this game, that when the playoffs get 12 teams, if Nick Saban sticks around at Alabama for another 4 or 5 years, he's not going to be in those playoffs an awful lot. I mean, how are we going to view that?
I mean, he would have been there
every year of his career, basically, except for 2007.
But again,
but how are we going to view that?
I mean, I think it's an accomplishment.
Yeah.
I think you're going to view that like a coach getting to a Final Four.
Right.
Not a Final Four, like 10 NFL playoffs.
Elite Eight, whatever. I don't know.
It won't be a Final Four.
Well, I mean, I know it's more teams, but getting to a college football playoff
will not be like the Final Four.
I don't know.
I mean, getting to it now is like the Final Four because it is the Final Four. it's going to be 12 teams in this thing.
It's still going to be really difficult to do.
With 3 losses. Some of these teams will get in with 3 losses.
Okay, but having the conversation yesterday with Clay Travis, he made up a point, and I agree with it. There's probably 40 to 45 teams right now that would be in a mix for a 12-team playoff.
That would be in the conversation, yeah.
Do you agree with what Kevin just said in the chat room? Because this did jump out at me a little bit. I'm not agreeing with him. I'm just saying it was interesting. If anything signifies the end of the Saban era, it's that his wife didn't go to the Mississippi State game. They have always done this as a team. If she starts slowing down, he will lose his drive.
I mean, she could have felt a little off. Who knows?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. But it did kind of jump out at me when he brought that up Monday. That was like, that's
she's usually with him on the road and everywhere.
I can't remember a time when she hasn't been in at a game.
Yeah.
That was a late game now.
Right, she might be shopping for furniture for that Jupiter place.
Jupiter place could have been grandkids, could have been a million different things. I'm not jumping to conclusions. I am saying it did jump out at me, though.
It was an 8 o'clock, and I think that's a bus trip for Bama, and they don't fly to that.
I think Alabama actually bussed day of game, which is pretty unusual, but I think what Saban didn't want to do was just go to a hotel somewhere and lay around all day, and he figured, what is that drive, hour and a half from Tuscaloosa?
Well, and Michael's right. It was late-ass kick.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah, I'm in my pajamas watching that one.
I swear to you, Dunaway, I think I've heard, I haven't confirmed this, but I've heard they bust day of game, which is very unusual for them to do in Starkville, but normally it's not an 8 p.m. kickoff either.
Yeah, and with the police escort and things.
You get there no time.
Yeah, less than a 2-hour bus
ride. I mean, what's
probably.
the difference in staying in a hotel 45 minutes away and doing an hour and a half until, I mean, it's 45 more minutes. Is that going to be that big a difference?
Yeah. I don't think they stopped at a car dealership and like Brian Kelly and got out and did exercises and ran routes.
Hey, that worked.
Yeah, it did for them. They needed it this past week. All right, we'll talk to Elijah McAllister when we come back. The show being brought to you by our friends at Bromberg's. The ring chase continues in College Station this weekend. If you're popping the question, only place to go is Bromberg's.
Yeah, since 1836, family owned and operated. Nothing like giving or getting that silver box from our friends at Bromberg. Stop into one of those 2 great locations. If you're thinking about popping the question, these are the specialists. You need to go see them. Mountain Brook and the Summit. You can also check out everything online. Shop right there at brombergs.com.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing. The extra hours of sunshine are back on the clock, and that means it's time for golf at Timberline, a short drive from Birmingham or Montgomery. Go to timberlinegc.com, timberlinegc.com to book your tee times, schedule a lesson, or just drop by and use the TrackMan technology on the driving range. The course is always fun, in great shape, and you can even become a member. Get all the details at timberlinegc.com. It's time to get your golf on with our friends at Timberline. If renting is putting a dent in your bank account, here's your sign from the universe that it's time to buy a new home. And who better to help you through the ins and outs of home buying than our friends at Mortgage Right. With Mortgage Right, you don't have to worry about becoming a short notice mortgage expert because they do all the heavy lifting for you. They're trusted mortgage professionals, and they'll help you choose the right mortgage option and stand by your side every step of the way. Visit mortgageright.com/TNR to buy before renting runs you dry. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at New Life Art. Daniel A. Moore has completed his original full-color oil painting honoring Bryce Young, Alabama's 4th Heisman Trophy winner. This painting depicts the memorable Heisman-worthy go-ahead pinpoint pass to John Mechie in the corner of the end zone as the Tide dismantled the vaunted Georgia defense in the SEC championship game this past year. Use code TNR for 15% off. You can order online at danielmooreart.com.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Hey, Ryan Brown here from the Next Round. Do you want to help pay for my kids' college and look great while you're doing it? You need to go to the Next Round store. Everything from hats to short sleeve and long sleeve t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, zip-up hoodies, and much more. And we're adding new things all the time. Why would you not want to see my kids get a great college education and look great out in the public while you're doing it? Get the gear we wear all the time on the show, and there's only one place to get it. nextround.store. That's nextround.store.
Our friends at Way to Wellness helps you with your journey to healthy living. Whether it's weight loss or get your blood pressure and cholesterol in line, you can go to this website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. It is your journey to healthy living. Leslie and her board-certified team will help you with an eating plan. Every plan is designed specifically for you. No cookie-cutter plan. There's no contracts. There's no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free just to check it all out. It is Way to Wellness. The website, one more time, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living.
All right, Auburn captain Elijah McAllister joins us each week, courtesy of Crane Works. The big guy reminds you to check out that big dog for Crane Works and Rental Works. He's on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. Welcome in, Elijah. How are you today?
Doing well. How you doing?
Doing great, thank you. I know when you play for a traditional SEC program, you do not play for moral victories, and I'm not trying to give you one for Saturday, but I will say a lot of Auburn fans looked at that and said, when you play toe-to-toe with the number one team in the nation in Hugh Freeze's first season, you feel really good about the way this team played. Did it feel the same in the locker room, even in a loss?
Yeah, I mean, like Coach talked about before the game, he wanted us to fight and knew we were going to fight for 60 minutes, and we felt good about, doing that, and we felt like we did that for 60 minutes, and obviously the result wasn't what we wanted, but we felt like our play matched up for the most part what we wanted to do and how we wanted to represent ourselves in the university out there on that field and playing in front of the best fans. The result just wasn't, didn't end up going our way, but it's something to build on, although it wasn't a win.
So you saw this team last year when you were at Vanderbilt, and I don't know, watching Georgia, they look a lot different. I mean, they got after you guys last year 55-0, different situation, different atmosphere, all that kind of stuff. How different is this Georgia team in 23 to last year's national championship 22 team?
Kind of think back to the guys they had on that team and different things last year.
Well, Stetson Bennett.
Yes. So that helped. Yeah. Stetson Bennett.
Jalen Carter.
Jalen Carter, which you didn't go against him, but I'm sure you had to look at him and think, my gosh.
I mean, obviously, they're two-time national champions, and guys graduate and guys, come in and get new roles and starting to, still early part of the season, in my opinion. So they're still trying to get comfortable with who they are in their new roles. So I think, obviously they're different because they have different people, but I think as far as me feeling like I'm out there and playing different, I'm in a place where, I'm with some talented guys and they make my job a lot easier. So, they're a lot different, probably just simply because of the guys transition. They had a lot of older guys last year on their team. They played a lot of ball, and it was two-time national championship teams. So.
Has this defense gotten better since Cal? That was a great defensive effort out there in Berkeley, and now you challenged against Georgia. How has the defense gotten a little bit better, if you think it has?
Yeah, I mean, we continue to improve every single week. We've gotten better just continuing to play together, and, stopping the run is always our big focus. And honestly, truthfully, we feel like we can play better as a defense and play better to help this team win more games going on in the future. So we feel like we're playing well. We're playing at a good level. Nonetheless, we know we can push our level to a higher standard so that we can help this team win some ball games coming down the stretch.
As you went back and watched the tape from that game, Bowers being open there late for a few catches, was that anything that was alarming to you guys? Did he just find a zone? How was that scheme? Just walk us through those few big plays late. Was that just a great effort by him? Talk about those few plays late in that game.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Roberts had a great plan for us to, continue to stop, their top plays and their top guys, and that's what we kind of did throughout the whole game. I think, obviously Brock Bowers was a great player, so he's going to make some plays throughout the course of the game. Nonetheless, we had great plans, and it was something that we just didn't execute as a defense, and just as we got, to the fourth quarter, we didn't execute at a higher level like we did throughout the earlier part of the game. So it's nothing that, we don't know that we can fix, and it's something that's fixable that we can go in next week. Obviously not this week, but next week moving forward. But obviously, Brock Bowers is a great player. He's going to make some plays, and then Coach Roberts had us set up in the right things. We just didn't execute coming down the stretch.
This is admittedly going to be a strange question, and we've asked you some strange ones. So I will warn you first. Elijah McAllister is with us, and he comes to us each week courtesy of Craneworks. The big guy says, don't forget to check out that big dog for Craneworks and RentalWorks. If God designed a player specifically to be able to successfully guard Brock Bowers, can you give me what that player looks like? I need like his size, his weight, what he runs the 40 in, his build. Yeah. Can you give me that guy?
I'd say he'd have to be between 6'1" and 6'3", somewhere around there, about 220, long arm guy that can run.
Can I give you Ed Reed? Will that work?
What was Ed Reed's height? Was he?
I think he was about 6'1", 6'2".
All right.
Yeah, Ed Reed probably would be able to cover anybody, I think, to ever play football. But he'd have to be a really long arm guy and have to have some great athleticism, but also be like physical. He had to be a tough dude, probably from somewhere down south.
I like it. Yeah, but like a 4.6. I mean, he probably needs to run a 4.6, 4.5. Am I right about that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Because he's rolling. Like, I mean, you see it on tape. He's rolling. Like, he can run for real, honestly.
Yeah.
Hey, after two physical battles against A&M and Georgia, you guys get a well-deserved bye week here before you guys head down to the Bayou to take on LSU. On a bye week, what do you typically do? Do you lay around in pajamas and watch football all day? Like, the three of us don't get off our couches. I mean, we watch from 11 a.m. till last game goes off, whether it's 1 or 2 in the morning. What will you do this weekend?
Yeah, so as far as practice, it's really like technique-based. So I guess coming down to the simple technique-based, not a lot of, team reps to really try to get the young guys acclimated to, getting more reps so they get prepared to help us out throughout the stretch of the season. And then outside of the facility, I'm honestly just icing up and making sure my body's right and getting off my feet because I'm an older guy. So I know I need the rest to continue to, be prepared for this next, back half stretch of the season. So it's really just getting off my feet, just chilling with my friends, probably playing a video game, watching some games, obviously on Saturday and Sunday, because I'll actually be able to watch it because we don't have one. So
you're an older guy. How old are you?
23. Yeah.
23. Yeah.
Older than what?
Do you use Icy Hot like me? I mean, me and Shaq, we use that Icy Hot. Do you use that too, like us older guys?
100%. Yeah, we got a couple, 5th, 6th-year guys on our team. We kind of got this little group of going, right before practice. We make sure the Icy Hot's on our knees and our ankles and make sure we're ready so we can have the best practice possible. Because without it, I don't know what we'd be able to do.
Do you find yourself ready for dinner at 5 o'clock like me? I mean, at 5 o'clock, you're ready to eat?
Yeah. And it's funny because some of the younger guys, they're like, man, I'll just go get some McDonald's at 10, 11 p.m. I'm like, man, I'm probably asleep by then, honestly.
Yeah. Do you call it the Facebook and TikTok? Do you like I do?
It's honestly funny that you guys say this because I like try to keep up with the different songs and different things that the younger guys on the team have. And like, I try my hardest, but I don't know. I tell them like, can you make a TikTok for me? Can you help me do this on Instagram? Like,
well, this is probably the wrong question to ask next then. Laura wants to know if you'll go to the Auburn Rodeo. It is this weekend. Famous concert down there.
Yeah, I heard about it. I'm still trying to figure out how many of my teammates are going, and I guess I'll try to tag along with a couple of them. But I definitely have heard about it. It's a fun event, and actually happy that it lands on our bye week so that some guys can go enjoy it. I'm unsure yet. I got to see how many of my teammates are going to see if we can get out there.
Zach Bryan's one of my favorite artists. He's headlining it, and I was gonna sneak in, and then some friends of mine who are in school there said, Jim, you'll be the oldest person in the pasture
by 15 years, maybe.
Don't go. Like sometimes you can just blend in at concerts and stuff. I'm told rodeo is not that.
Yeah, not that. It's funny, we don't have any rodeos in New Jersey, so it'll be my first, or really like anything like that in New Jersey. So it would be my first kind of concert kind of deal like that, and it'll be good.
He keeps talking about old. Do you know who the oldest player in college football is right now? And I think this is right. I could be wrong with transfer portal and COVID years and everything. You have any idea? Just guess an age.
I have no idea. I'll probably somebody who played baseball before and came back. Maybe it's probably like 32, 33.
34 years old. Virginia's got a kicker.
Oh, man. How's he doing? He's kicking well?
Well, Virginia doesn't score much.
Yeah, they don't score. They don't win, so it doesn't matter.
He hasn't been used yet.
but he did go serve in our military, so it's a cool story. But, 34 years old back on campus, man, that would be interesting.
A lot different.
He still has the tags on him. They can return him if they don't use him by the midseason.
Yeah, I was going to see if he even registers in field goals.
Yeah, he does.
Virginia, he is Will Bettridge. Is that the guy?
It's Matt Gainard.
Then he's the backup. He's not even a starter at that age. He's the backup. Well, their starter is 5 of 6 field goals.
He's best player on the team.
Best player on the team right now for them. Elijah, get some good rest this weekend. We appreciate the time. We'll talk to you next week as you get ready for LSU. Thank you, my man.
Thank you very much. Appreciate y'all.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Elijah McAllister. Always fun talking to him each week with us, courtesy of Craneworks, the big guy there. He and Tyler Booker both say, check out the big dog for Craneworks and RentalWorks. Like all our guests, he's on the Johnston RVCenter.com hotline.
Everyone, I'm sure, said Stetson Bennett over in the chat room there. Michelson Laser Vision bringing you part of the show today, LT. A couple of our great sponsors before we get to the top of the hour.
Yeah, 205-969-8100. That's the number you need to write down. The number that I called more than 2 decades ago. I had the 2200 vision. I was legally blind without the aid of contacts. 2015 vision, better than 2020. 205-969-8100. You can always go online, michelsonlaservision.com.
And all of our guests are on the johnstonrvcenter.com hotline. It was fun last seeing Nick from Johnson RV last Thursday night at Bud Light game night. I don't know if he'll be at Crestwood Tavern this week, but you can go see Nick himself at the locations up there on I-65.
Yeah, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. Cherokee is the #1 selling brand of RV in America. It's also #1 in Alabama, and they just so happen to be the top dealer in Alabama for Cherokee RVs, starting as low as $199 a month. A heck of a deal, as low as $199 a month. Lance mentioned kicker that served in our military. They are very appreciative of what our military does for us, just like we are, making America the greatest country in the universe, no questions about it.
And they want to say a very small thank you by offering a discount to all uniformed and retired military. Active duty retired, you get a great discount. They're at Johnston RV. Just ask them. The number one selling brand in America is Cherokee. The best place to get it is Johnston RV, starting as low as $199 a month. I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur, and always online, JohnstonRVCenter.com.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
It's college football time in Alabama. This is Congressman Robert Adderholt. I grew up an Alabama fan, Roll Tide, but my wife, Caroline, grew up an Auburn fan, War Eagle. But no matter who you pull for, whether it's the Lions of the University of North Alabama or the Gamecocks of Jacksonville State or any other school in between, I want to wish all the players, the coaches, and especially the fans another great college football season here in Alabama. I'm Robert Adderholt, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Adderholt for Congress.
Spring weather is here, and our friends at Hemphill Services are offering a $69 HVAC tune-up plus 10% off any service call when you mention the next round. Call Adam, Chad, and the guys at Hemphill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit is ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemphill Services, locally owned and operated independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Hemphill Services. It's hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com. That's 205-229-2090, hemphillservices.com.
Want more of The Next Round? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app. As summer bids adieu, get ready to welcome the arrival of fall. But hey, it's not just football season making an entrance. In the world of pests, it's Fall Invader season. Hold on tight, because we got 4 major troublemakers stepping into the spotlight: box elder bugs, kudzu bugs, ladybugs, and stink bugs. These pests don't just knock, they barge in like they own the place. But fear not, dial up Wayne's Pest Control now, 865-588-6686, and show those Fall Invaders who's boss. Don't let pests crash your fall. Take charge today.
Going to a big football game? Walking around all day? Then you'll want comfortable shoes. This is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. Score a touchdown with a new pair of ultra-comfortable running or walking shoes. Come to the New Balance Birmingham store. I'm telling you, we'll make sure you have a perfect fit and we'll treat you like the starting QB. Our job is to make sure your feet are happy. Visit the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. Your feet will thank you.
There are so many things I love about walk-ons. Authentic, mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine, prepared fresh, daily from scratch. A great beer selection and TVs everywhere to watch the big game every day of the week. And of course, they've got 2 great locations on Highway 280 and 119 and at Hoover near the Hoover Met. Walk-ons is also a great place for happy hour. 2 to 6 Monday through Friday with $5 moonshine swirls, $5 house pours, and half-price appetizers. And it's an easy take-home experience for the family as well. Highway 280 and Hoover with walk-ons.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
We'll get to Jeff from Anniston in just a second on the phones here as we do the final hour. We're brought to you by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Swing by there, check out Sterling and the crew. Get that cooked to order, deep southern fried chicken. That's the center of your screen right there. The top center is that Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. And at the bottom, the hand-cut chicken fingers. All great for your tailgate. Great sides, wonderful drink. Megan's Margaritas are fantastic on date night as well. Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. Champy'sChicken.com, Highway 119 in Alabaster. As we move to this final hour of the show, Bruce Feldman reporting last night that the discussion about Urban Meyer being a candidate for the Michigan State job is nothing. At this point, he says he spoke to Urban directly. Urban has no interest. There's zero truth to the report, and that he's happy doing what he's doing right now at Fox. No interest in the Michigan State job whatsoever, says Urban Meyer to Bruce Feldman.
I don't blame him. That is a shit job for Urban Meyer.
I think it would easily be. Well, it'd be the worst head coaching job he had of Utah,
Bowling Green.
of Utah, Florida, and Ohio State. I'd take all three of those. I think it started as like somebody faking a report, and then it caught legs. You see what I'm saying? I think it was intended as a joke to begin with, or one of those fake reporters. And it's gotten enough legs that people like Bruce Feldman have to talk to Urban and say no.
Tell us about Harbin's Outdoors, how they're changing your backyard for the better, and then we'll get to Jeff from Anniston.
Yeah, I talked to Jeremy. We're actually going to start the project next Monday, so looking forward to that. Harbin's Outdoors, award-winning landscape company specializing in installing custom fiberglass pools, landscaping and hardscaping. Jeremy and his team, one-stop shop for all your pool construction needs. Harbin's does it all, from the install to the lighting, final hardscapes around the pool, everything in between. Beautiful work. You can find them on Instagram at Harbins_outdoors. See it for yourself right there, or call or text Jeremy directly, 205-300-0718.
Blake says, why would they want Urban Meyer after the pictures of him at the bar? What could go wrong? Well, because he can win damn football games. He's a great coach. If he took the Michigan State job, he would turn him into a winner.
So the chick that alleged Mel Tucker, if she was on his lap at a bar and he was undefeated right now, he'd still have a job. I guarantee it.
That would be the most college football thing ever, though, is to fire a guy for something sexually related and then hire a guy who was most on.
Yeah, it really would be.
That'd be the most college football thing ever.
Rusty's more right. This would be the most work Urban Meyer had to do as a head coach.
Absolutely.
Since his days at Utah, getting that team together. So I'm not sure that he is up for the rebuild of Michigan State. Jeff in Anniston is with us. Jeff, welcome to the show, man. How are you?
Oh, man, I'm a jellicle cat. And I can't complain, but I sometimes still do. But am I the only one that thinks Dan Orlovsky, he reminds me of Nate Oates? The way he talks, his mannerisms.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like him.
Yeah, I can see that.
They could be cousins.
A very tall, skinny Nate Oates.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Jim do his Russian cigarette spy accent and introduce him to Dan Orlovsky.
Do it.
By the way, Jim, great crowd for that playoff game last night.
Thank you.
Y'all,
19,000. You know what? It was 19,000 more than every baseball team that was not in the playoffs.
Whoa, there you go.
Yeah, for another year in what is quote unquote a small market. By the way, you guys bitch and moan about the crowd, but it's a small market for a reason.
There's
right?
more
Small
than 19,000 folks there.
Yeah, 19,000.
Of course, I'm a Reds fan, so I can't see shit.
Yeah. When's the last time you were in the playoffs? Pete Rose?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Pete Rose, Tom Seaver, Ray Knight.
Chili Davis.
Hey, Pete Rose was knocking them doubles, man.
Yeah.
And am I wrong, but isn't Don McClain being redundant when he sings them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye? I mean, isn't that just saying they were drinking whiskey and whiskey? Isn't rye whiskey?
Well, so there's a rye variety. Going back to our friends at Chicken Cock, there is the regular whiskey and there's a rye. It's a different variation, 100%.
I mean, you got to find something to rhyme with pie.
It is.
He's just trying to rhyme with pie. He knew what the next line was.
But I've had a Saturday night where I'll get into Chicken Cock regular and I'll go Chicken Cock rye. So I'm drinking both.
And I never liked rye until I liked Chicken Cock. And then I was like, the Chicken Cock rye is good. Oh, my.
But it is singing whiskey and whiskey, though, basically, right?
Basically, yes. Right.
It's kind of like the movie Manos, Hands of Fate, translate to Hands of Fate. I translated for you, Brown, because I know you didn't finish your Spanish.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah, well, he's redundant as well when he says bye, Miss American Pie. I mean, he could just say bye, Miss American Pie.
You gotta get those fillers.
Yeah.
You gotta get those fillers. It's all about timing.
It can't be a 7.5 minute song without some of these words, guys.
I saw a trailer for that new Exorcist movie the other day when I went and saw Nun 2. Man, it looks wicked.
It does. I can't watch that devil stuff, the spiritual stuff.
Oh, man, it looks awesome.
But I look up, watching a game or something, and they got that stuff on. I'm like, my God. Two of those Linda Blair lookalikes in one room together. It's too much.
Oh, man, yeah, it's got some wicked stuff. If the movie's as good as the trailer, it's going to be hard to beat. All right, before the season, I asked y'all your seesaw on national championship being from the SEC or Big Ten. I think LT was like 99%, Dunaway was like 95%, Brown was a tad lower. Where would you say now?
So
a lot lower.
I only get SEC or Big Ten?
Yeah.
I will not change. I'm going to say 95.
Really? You're being hard-headed.
Are you serious?
Who's going to be there? Other than Texas, there's not another team that will be in the mix.
No, I'm misunderstanding the question. I got SEC Big Ten versus the field, or
Michigan. Yeah, right. Yeah, you get SEC or Big Ten. What's your percentage?
Oh, okay. I misunderstood your question.
I think I would go 50-50 because I think Texas probably will be there if they can close the deal this week. It's big if. And then I think the Pac-12 gets one in. I haven't seen a team like that. I don't see a team in the SEC or the Big Ten that's just going to automatically walk over one of those teams.
But you
can name a team now.
This isn't making the playoffs. This is winning the national championship.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I don't see it. Yeah, I go 50-50.
I'll go 75-25.
Yeah. I'm going to hold it 95%.
Yeah, I'll go 75-25.
Wow. Okay. I'm surprised. All right. When I was a kid, I had these two big knights and horses, and they all had one had gold armor, the horses and the knight, and then one had silver. Y'all, probably people out there know what I'm talking about, late 60s, early 70s. Anyway, the reason I'm saying that is the Silver Knight, he looks just like Ryan Day back in the, anyway, maybe you can look it up.
I'll look it up.
Old Gold Knight, Silver Knight from late 60s, 70s. But the Silver Knight looks like Ryan Day. And I know y'all like the blind side block rule, but I hate it,
No, I don't like it. No.
I love seeing people get cracked back.
Yeah. I mean, I understand it. You may have misunderstood it when we had this conversation, but I don't like it.
Yeah, it's not about safety. We know that's hypocritical.
No.
Yeah, leave it in there.
What do you think it's about? What do you think it's about if it's not safety?
Well, I mean, they have to have the optics of safety, but at the same time, we're going to extend this season. We're going to 12-team playoff.
Yeah, that's exactly right, LT. And explain to me why you're penalized for leaping to block a field goal, but a running back can be running full speed and jump a defender.
I told you I thought that would be the next thing that is penalized is jumping defenders the way Najee Harris used to do at Alabama. I'm really surprised they haven't addressed it yet because you're right. It is. It doesn't make
that's more dangerous.
Yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's the same exact principle. One just happens to be an open field and one is not.
And why can you now push a player, but you can't pull them? What the hell's the difference?
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand it. I don't like the pushing rule either, but I don't see the.
If you don't know the difference between pushing and pulling, there's a reason you're still single all these years later.
All right, and that picture of that team that looked like LT, that looked more like LT as a team than pictures of LT as a team look like LT.
I agree.
It really does.
It did look like AI LT is what it was.
I love. Hey Jeff, you'll love this. My daughter loves to stir it up with me, and she reached.
I love that joke the other day.
So good.
But she reached out to the chick, the boyfriend's girl that actually posted it on TikTok. Sent her a DM.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, did we get anything back?
No response.
Oh, okay.
A bigger surprise: Baker Mayfield or Joe Burrow this year?
Joe
and
Burrow.
That way, Baker's not been bad this year. You look at his numbers; he's been very good.
Oh no! I think look, they're. I mean, I'll let Dunaway talk about this. I saw him in a power ranking; they were number 10, which is still a joke.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. But for me, Joe Burrow signing that contract, the biggest per year at $55 million. He's got an injury, so there's an excuse there, but he's still healthy enough to play.
Yeah.
So they're playing him. And outside of for 2 quarters against the Rams, he's been awful.
Terrible. I mean, not just bad. He's been stunningly bad.
This Buccaneer team's is a house of cards, though. It is. I mean,
Come on now. I think you're doing the old reverse psychology.
Vikings, Bears. I mean, the Bears wouldn't even finish the top half of the Pac-12. They couldn't score enough points to keep up. And then on the road in New Orleans is the best win so far. And they were not very competitive with the Eagles in the long run. And now they got a bye week, so it'll stack on them down the stretch here. He's been serviceable, but I guarantee you if we sat here and drafted quarterbacks, we would go 20 rounds before anybody would take Baker Mayfield.
Oh, I don't know about that. Dan Patrick the other day stated matter-of-factly that Mike Tomlin was a Hall of Fame coach. Do y'all agree with that?
Yes, because of his longevity. He's won a Super Bowl, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and just his longevity.
Wait, who are we talking about?
Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, I mean, to be in the league that long, I know it's a really good organization. To never have a losing record, I think it's pretty strong. So, I would lean Mike Tomlin.
Mediocrity.
Yeah. It's gonna change this year. To use Brown's analogy, it's been a drop-off.
Well, I don't know if it'll change. We'll see how healthy Kenny Pickett. I mean, they're 2-2.
No, they're better with Kenny Pickett out. I mean, if Kenny's not healthy, if Kenny's not, if
you
Kenny
think they're better with Mitch Trubisky?
Yeah, if Kenny doesn't play, they got a chance.
I
at
love
a
how Dunaway's going to
record.
die on this hill. This Kenny, if Kenny Pickett is a good quarterback, that offensive line blows.
Oh yeah, that's the way it is. And if you like the quarterback, it's the offensive line's fault. If you hate the quarterback,
you have not seen the Steelers play this year.
Oh, I have.
No, you have not.
I have.
Well, if you have,
I've got TV at home.
Okay, well,
I know
if
how
you
to work my
have,
YouTube
then
TV.
you would be able to tell how bad they suck.
Oh, they do.
Yeah,
they
that's
do.
terrible.
But Kenny Pickett sucks too.
Hey, wouldn't that put every Steelers head coach in the Hall of Fame? They've only had
Yeah, longevity, if that's all you need, yeah, every one of them automatically.
No, but they're
you're
all
right.
in.
Well, not the early years.
By the way, they've all won a Super Bowl.
Chuck, no, Bill
Not the
Cowher,
early
and Tomlin. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I
but
guess their
they go
last
way
three.
back.
Okay, their last three would be in, yeah.
And am I the only one that thought that Toy Story game was going to have like Woody at quarterback and Slinky Dog at wide receiver and T-Rex at tackle?
I honestly didn't know what it was going to have.
I thought that's what it
Yeah.
was going to be. Hell, that wasn't nothing.
It ended up being exactly what I thought it was going to be. Is they
Yeah,
had it.
I thought they were going to have the characters playing the game.
Yeah.
I was going to kind of get into that for a little bit. But last two things about Bama real quick. And it was nice and nostalgic, to win in a boring, physical, grind-em-up game that I wasn't never worried about. And I know we're fixing to play some serious dudes from the defensive line room of A&M, so they're going to have some big plays over the top and running. But two questions. Bigger stat for Bama's offense this week, to have less than 2 turnovers on offense, or they must have to get over 40% third down conversions on offense?
I'd say less than 2 turnovers.
Yeah, if they don't turn the ball over, I think they win.
Yeah, I
the
think
game.
your defense at Alabama is good enough to stop anybody they are playing this year, enough for you to win the game. And the way you can hamstring them is a bad turnover that puts them against a wall.
Short field
for the other team. So
or
I'd go
pick
turnovers.
six.
Yeah.
Or scoop and
Our
score.
punting has been great too. If we don't turn it over, he's been pretty good. At
It's the best special teams Alabama's had under Saban. Now they're not as strong in the return game as they have been, but punter and kicker is best it's ever been.
Last question, and crowd roars, I know. One thing, something I wanted to tell y'all before I get off though. The other day, I was in the car and I was singing "Big City Lights," by Scorpion,
right?
And I realized,
good tune.
For some reason, it popped in my mind. You can do "Shit Titty Damn" in the same rhythm as "Big City Lights."
Give us an example.
Shit titty damn. Anyway, I just thought maybe Sterling, I think he worked his magic on that.
Give me a little Klaus mean, man. You got to be able to hit that note, though.
Yeah, that's true. Why is it always the short guys that's got the strongest voice, man? Him, Ronnie James Dio, they always, the little fellers always can.
Little fellers.
Hey, but real quick before you go, Scorpion's playing this month in Las Vegas. I took a look at it. I just don't want to travel.
Wow. All right. Last question. More likely to happen, undefeated college team after conference championships, or an NFL team starts 10-0?
Well, I mean, you've already lost. The Bills have already lost a game, and I think they are really, really good. The Chiefs have already lost a game. Everybody in the AFC's done. Yeah, so I'd say
Eagles go down this week to the Rams.
Yeah, nobody makes it 10 weeks in the NFL.
Yeah, I think you've got a better shot in the college game.
Yeah.
Really? So who do you think would be the one to go undefeated?
Texas, if they survive this weekend.
I just don't see that.
I could see the 49ers going undefeated.
I could see that.
Yeah,
if they survive this weekend.
Yeah, I think they'll
beat the Cowboys.
I think they'll beat the Cowboys, but they don't play the Eagles until what week? That's beyond week 10. And they're in Philadelphia. I can see the 49ers.
Cowboys this weekend over the 49ers.
Okay.
All right, guys. Love you. Mean it.
I love
Bye.
you, man.
So long. Part of the show today being brought to you by our friends at Moore's Marinade.
Yeah. Don't forget, you could be a grilling hero with Moore's Marinade right there in your backyard for this football weekend. They've also got that buffalo wing sauce. You know, one thing when you look at a marinade, sodium is you don't want to put it on your meat, taste your meat, and it's all salty.
Exactly.
You do not want that, Jimmy D. Moore's Original Marinade has lower sodium than the leading lower sodium marinade, but you do not sacrifice the taste. They give you a boost of delicious hickory flavor, whatever you're putting on the grill. Burgers, chicken, steak, pork, even veggies. Don't forget that buffalo wing sauce as well. It adds the perfectly tangy flavor that will keep you licking your fingers even after the wings are gone. You could dip it, you could drizzle it, you could slather Moore's buffalo wing sauce on everything you eat. Chicken fingers, burgers, sandwiches, pizza, pasta, tacos, fries, and more. Grill masters prefer Moore's Marinade over them all. See why? Get some grilling inspiration, even get some recipes at mooresmarinades.com. That is mooresmarinades.com.
First of all, just punch that up real quick, Forrester. They virtually stole our UAB idea.
Boy, did they. Well, I mean, it is the outline of the state of Alabama.
Yeah.
It's not like we created that. I think some constitutional agreement created that.
We gave him that shirt, right?
No, he's got the shirt.
I bet everybody was wearing it one day, and they're like, you know what?
We can do this on ourselves.
We take out their logo and put in our logo. I think it'll be better. So hats off to you, Trent. Remember earlier I told you how Jonathan Smith apologized for his nipple milking sign to milk the clock at the end of the game. Here's Trent Dilfer with his apology of the week for blowing up at his coaches and players for having too many men on the field.
I'm regretful about it. I'm a passionate guy. Anybody that's ever been around me as a player, as a coach, at ESPN, I mean, my kids will tell you this. I am a passionate person. Sometimes that passion comes out in ways that I am not proud of. And that's a moment that I am not proud of. Because, one, I wasn't just mad at that singular coach. We do have headphones on, so every person, 22 people were getting that message, that was unacceptable. Now, I could have done that in a better way. And I'll learn from it, like I've learned from my mistakes in the past. I don't really get caught up in what people say. I've woken up to a lot worse things to that. I've been booed out of stadiums. I've had people lie about my character multiple times. I don't get too caught up in that stuff. But I am very concerned about the 200 people in this building, about the people we represent in the city of Birmingham, and that's not what I want their head coach to be remembered for.
Yeah.
Now I am going to be passionate, and there may be other times that I'm stern, but that one was over the top, and I regret it.
Yeah, he regrets it. He never says I'm sorry or I apologize, which I respect. But if you go to the dictionary, an apology is a regretful acknowledgement of an offense or failure. So he uses I'm regretful and never says I'm sorry, and I like that.
But he wouldn't owe us the apology either. He would owe the apology to the people he blew up on. So if he wants to apologize to them, he can do that in private, and I'm fine with that.
Probably already has.
This is football. I cannot believe we've gotten to a point where a coach has to apologize to his assistant coach for the one job in that situation you need to do is make sure there's not too many men on the field.
Let me just say, if Alabama were at LSU, and their special teams had 12 men on the field and cost Alabama the game, which is arguably what happened in this situation, by the way. And Nick Saban absolutely blew up on the special teams coordinator. Alabama fans would have said, I am so glad he did that.
Yeah. You expect him to do it. In fact, they were cheering for it this past week.
Yeah, I mean, everybody was excited to see him do something similar to that this week.
Yeah, Saban does it all the time.
That's right.
Assistants, players,
nobody's safe.
Media members. They blew up at this one because it was a coach talking to someone who was not on the same level. Up here, we're all peers, right?
Right.
No real bosses anymore, but we're all peers. But in the real world, bosses can sometimes yell at employees. Coaches yell at players and assistant coaches. It is sometimes the best lesson in life. My high school baseball coach changed my life because how hard he rode me and made me a better person. Shout out Billy Woodham. He yelled at me all the time.
Well, you had an employer in Lexington, I think it was. You told the story, threw something at you. I had a former GM that you guys, I don't know if Dunaway ever worked for him, but I mean, we got in a screaming match, and then he continued to undress me. Explicitives. I mean, throwing them out me. And, that was part of it back in the day.
But Saban has blown up on underlings, too, for everybody to see. I just think it's that Trent Dilfer is viewed as a high school football coach. Nick Saban's viewed as the greatest of all time. So one gets away with it, one doesn't. Yeah. I didn't personally have a problem with it.
I had zero problem with it.
I mean, it's what you sign up for when you get in that business.
Do your damn job.
Yeah, I mean, somebody screwed up. And to his point, he was yelling in the headset. You could see it. He was yelling at the coach that was on the field.
Yep.
I never saw him, at least in that moment, yell at a player. I just saw him yell at the coaches.
If I was Marcus Freeman, I'd have been yelling at those people in the Ohio State game.
Yep.
How in the hell do we not have 11 people out there?
That's
I'd have yelled at the player. We practice this. You're supposed to be in there, Lance. You're the damn defensive line coach. How do you not see 4 guys out there?
Yep.
I'd have yelled at you too. Trash coming up on the other side. Show being brought to you by our friends at Redmond Vodka. Tell us about Redmond.
Of course, I would have said, Coach, you need to take the penalty.
That's right. Yeah, why don't you tell him jump off sides?
Hey, locally owned and operated, Charles Barkley, one of the great faces behind that local product, Redmond Vodka. Had some this past weekend. It is fantastic. Available in 22 states, 8 times distilled, gluten-free. As for it by name, it is Redmond Vodka.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
The Next Round golf cart is back and is presented by Urology Centers of Alabama. For $89, play Limestone Springs, Cross Creek, The Meadows, and the renovated Woodward Golf Club. $247 in value for just $89. Or get bonus gifts with the Deluxe Golf Cart for $119. No restrictions, good through September of 2024, but supplies are limited. Buy right now at nextround.store.
The wait is over. Tonale has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonale plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonale offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonale leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonale.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
The Next Round Golf Cart is here. Your chance to play 4 area golf courses for just $89. Get 18 holes in cart at Limestone Springs, Cross Creek, The Meadows, and the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. A $247 value for just $89. Get your golf cart now at nextround.store.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
Make sure to start your day at nextroundlive.com. Get caught up on the latest podcasts and videos from the live daily show, plus specialty shows such as the Mystery 5th Hour. You can also learn more about the whole staff at Double Down Media, find all of our social media feeds, see the latest videos from our YouTube channel and gaming channel, plus find other ways to consume the show like the Next Round mobile app, which you can download direct from the site via your iOS and Android device. Make nextroundlive.com your homepage and stay up to date with everything from us here at the Next Round.
The Next Round store is live and loaded. Check out the latest logo t-shirts and hoodies, get your favorite team colors, the Next Round flag shirt, or grab the popular Y'all Can Have the Rest t-shirts. Go to nextround.store, that's nextround.store.
Back with you on the Next Round as we roll on here. You see us being served here. Great Milos. We tell you on the Milos app all the time, use the promo code Next Round and try these new loaded fries that they have. And we've got a sampling of these up here, LTs, these loaded fries from our friends at Milos.
Yeah, so we've got the saucy fry, and we've got the Mexi fry.
Yes.
And which one are you knocking out there, Brown?
I've got the Mexi fry. I need to trade somebody for a saucy fry.
Well, you know, I got to talk this segment.
I've got a saucy.
Well,
that's Mexi.
That's Mexi. Here's
a saucy.
Give me a saucy.
I don't have a Mexi.
Here's a Mexi.
All right.
Oh, thank you.
There you go. There's saucy.
All right, there's
you
Mexi.
guys sit back and enjoy when I.
Rockstar, which one did you get?
I got the saucy, and I'm consuming it.
Oh, Rockstar was moaning on his way down the
I was
hall.
going to the
It's a great
bathroom,
idea.
and I knew Mary Rose and Mary Duncan were coming in, and right when I hit the hall, I smelt it. I was like,
you knew it was coming.
Ain't going to the bathroom now.
Which shot can you get, Forrester? I got a little saucy fry. Can you give me here? Our friends at Milo's, you see the logo up there. Milo's app. Use Next Round, and you get the get an order of these fries. Delicious right here with the queso on it and the meat. Is this the great hamburger meat that we use for the Milo's burgers?
Oh, my
Delicious.
gosh.
Tell us about My Bookie, Brownie, and we'll get to trash here in a second.
I can do it, Brownie.
No, I got
to
it.
keep eating. Okay.
MyBookie.ag code Next Round. MyBookie.ag code Next Round. That is where you go right now to bet anything, anytime, anywhere. And when you use code Next Round, you get that sign-on bonus. You make a deposit, they give you that special bonus right there with code Next Round at mybookie.ag. Now, here's the thing. A lot of places you'll do that, and you'll have to bet it 4 times, 5 times, 6 times to make it yours and keep winning. At mybookie.ag, you bet it 1 time, you win. It is yours and yours forever. Code Next Round at mybookie.ag. Mybookie.ag, code Next Round. Get on board. Major League Baseball playoffs, they heat back up today. They are there. College football tonight with the Jacksonville State University on the road at Middle Tennessee. It is there. The pros return tomorrow night in college football and the NFL throughout the weekend. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with mybookie.ag, code Next Round.
And by the way, that Milo's app, the mobile app, use the promo code Next Round and get one of their new loaded fries, the Mexi or the
Saucy.
Saucy. Mexi or Saucy. Right there. Milo's app. Next Round, the promo code for a free loaded fries like we're enjoying right now in this trash segment. Emily Grace McWhorter is right through that wall there in our green room. She's on the SEC teleconference where we're talking about linebackers practicing for teams around the league, including one in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, she says, she reports that Nick Saban on Deontay Lawson and Terrence Ferguson. Lawson obviously huge at linebacker in this game. Quoting Nick Saban here from the teleconference, both guys are able to practice, but won't know how effective they'll be in the game until later this week. So he leaves the door open again for Deontay Lawson being able to play, as he did last week, and then Lawson did not play. But obviously you're 1 week closer.
Jihad Campbell was great. You miss a lot with Deontay Lawson. But this is just amazing that they're even talking about him practicing right now, because based on what we heard a couple of weeks ago, tightrope was in the conversation.
That's what I feared for him, yeah.
Late October was in the conversation for him coming back. So, I mean, this is a positive.
Campbell and Marshall really good at linebacker last week. Campbell getting everybody lined up. And so was Downs and Key. They led the team in tackles. If you've been watching Alabama, too, Elijah Pritchett starting to get some play at left tackle. Pritchett and Proctor in that position played a little bit better against Mississippi State. Left tackle, that seems to be so far shored up pretty good. That'll be huge this week against that great Texas A&M defensive line. A game LT thinks is tough for Bama at College Station. I feel like by the time we get to Saturday, he's going to like Alabama.
I don't think I am.
Wow, that was a challenge you gave him right there, Jimmy D.
Yeah, I try to set it up. Yep. I'm going to enjoy some fries while LT does trash today. Brought to you by our friends at Mortgage Right. Rockstar, hit the big button, man.
They let me look at the lawyer's building. I know the vacuum cleaner man. He's seen my tits. I know that's not going on TV, but it's true. It's true. I'm not here to lie to you.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
Hey, are you a veteran looking for a VA loan? Mortgage Right has been advocating for veterans since their company began. As a veteran-owned, operated company committed to your well-being, they can help you find the best terms available, guide you through every step of the process. Visit their locations, Highway 280 Birmingham, Parkway Drive in Leeds. You can apply, mortgageright.com/TNR. Call 205-815-9200, NMLS 2239. Equal housing lender. I've had some weird ideas for specialty reality shows.
Yes, most of them involve criminals on death row.
Yep.
I bet it's not better than cheese, bacon, and jalapenos on a French fry.
We actually have. This actually took place a very long time ago with death row inmates, and our man Tommy Firestick sent it to me.
Oh, really?
This is an incredible story. Play like your life depends on it is often heard in the world of sports when the stakes are high, but it was a little more literal for the Wyoming State Penitentiary All-Stars back in 1911.
That's the All-Stars.
It's a true story. I've seen a picture of these guys.
Right.
Now, the baseball team was made up completely of prisoners who had been sentenced to death. The death row inmates competed for the Wyoming All-Stars with their 12-man roster made up of some of the most high-risk criminals in the United States. When they made their debut in July of 1911, the team included 3 rapists, a forger, 5 thieves, and 3 killers.
Jeez.
Now, a forger seems a little much to be on death row, doesn't it?
It really does. I'd be looking around going,
yeah, great representation.
Before just waited the afterlife.
Yeah.
Why am I shortstop on this team?
Yeah, I get everybody else. Now, the prisoners would compete against free men week in, week out. There was plenty more incentive for the All-Stars to win with their lives on the line. Now, as a result, the death row setup, we're told victories would knock time off their sentences, delay their executions, or would see them reduced to life, but losses much more costly. Now, the incentives seemed to work as they recorded an emphatic 11-1 victory over Wyoming Supply Company Juniors, one of the strongest teams in the area. As well as being commended for their quality skill set, the convicts surprised many with the impressive manners and sportsmanship, especially considering their past charges. Well, I don't know how much sportsmanship I would have if life is on the line.
Yeah.
I mean,
true.
I'm spikes high is the way I'm coming in.
Yeah, what I have
if
to
the
lose?
catcher is getting ready to tag you out at the plate, you Pete Rose him and roll him to the backstop.
Yeah, absolutely. Game received national attention with the Washington Post even covering the clash. Star of the show at the debut was convicted murderer Joseph Singh. He hit 2 home runs on the way to victory.
Oh, power hitter.
I'll show you guys this picture in a minute. Yeah. Now, earning raves from the Washington Post, it read, Joseph Singh, who was convicted of murder in the first degree and sentenced to death, played a classy game all the way through. Now, he will petition the governor to commute a sentence to life imprisonment sometime this month. Now, the problem here is, although they won, he actually ended up getting executed, and that was kind of the end of the penitentiary All-Stars.
Do you remember how when Cuba used to come here and play baseball, they would always leave with less guys than they came here with? Like somebody would disappear. And
if it was an 18-person traveling party, they'd go back to Havana with 15.
Yeah, they would seek asylum, right? I wonder, like, when this team hit the road, how bad security had to be for that. I mean, you got to watch these guys.
No, I'd be making a run for it.
There ain't no doubt, man.
The sign was still second.
Ooh. It's kind of heavy, right?
Yeah, you may not want to throw that many combined again.
Wow.
Man has been charged in a home invasion after saying he was being, quote, chased by spiders, don't like, vampires.
Nope.
Not a fan. And angels.
Yeah, I like the angels.
Before he was arrested on Tuesday. That's the dude.
Why is the angels chasing him?
So they're not in the postseason.
Jacob Vore, 40 years old, is this guy you're looking at. Police said the homeowner was awakened by a security alarm, went to investigate, told investigators he armed himself, heard a noise coming from his basement, said he yelled down to whoever or whatever was making the commotion. He reported a man's voice responded and said, "I'm being chased by spiders, vampires, and angels." Now, police officers arrived, saw the suspect in the basement. As they approached the rear of the home, suspect left the house, was ordered to the ground. Officers arrested the man, took him to police headquarters. They were able to identify the suspect as 40-year-old Jacob Vore.
I'm going to say this.
Got a little Tom York from Radiohead in it.
Jacob's head doesn't match his body.
Yeah, you'd like that shoulder on the to our left, his right.
It's like he's got pads on.
Yeah.
And his nose is pissed off at the left side of his body, so he's kind of veering away.
Those shoulders are too big for that head.
I agree.
Yeah, that's a Photoshop. That's
you
somebody
think so?
else's body.
Now, police investigated. They said the suspect used a pry bar to break into the house. They also reviewed the home's video security, and the footage showed Vore holding a carving knife he had taken from the basement's kitchen, and he was holding the knife as he walked towards the stairs. Now, he told authorities that he admitted to breaking into the home, but he wasn't there to hurt anybody.
I think that's the vampire's body. They actually caught him and put his head on the vampire. It's a Scooby-Doo skits, what this is. At the end, he's going to take that mask off. It's going to be the vampire.
And his ears are wings.
So I haven't been to Costco in a while, but they sell everything virtually, right?
Yeah.
Everything but these fries.
They now sell 1-ounce gold bars.
There you go.
Yeah, Costco has been selling 1-ounce gold bars. The retailer limits them to 2 per member, but they typically sell out, quote, within a few hours, according to the CFO. Now, Rand Refinery gold bars, $1,950 each. The Pamp Sushi bar cost $1,980. Costco has been selling these 1-ounce gold bars. Says they get snapped up in hours. According to the CFO, Richard Galante told investors on Tuesday, quote, I've gotten a couple of calls that people have seen online that we're selling 1-ounce gold bars. We are, but we load them on the site. They're typically gone within a few hours, and we limit it to 2 per member. Both products have been given an average of 4.9 star rating on Costco's website. That was awful.
That was awful.
Yeah.
He's usually better than this, ladies. I apologize.
We could ask the girls over here, if you guys, wedding day, somebody else proposed during a speech.
Oh.
How bad is that?
Like it's your wedding and somebody proposes? That's a thumbs down?
And it's the groom.
The groom. You know, I've always liked your sister.
Daniel?
Yes. Now, so they both gave a thumbs down for the record.
Yeah. Okay. 30-year-old married her husband last month, and their long-awaited wedding was going smoothly until the speeches. That's when the best man decided to go against common sense, got down on one knee, and, quote, all hell broke loose. From that point on, No one paid attention to bride or groom, nor paid attention to the event times. According to the bride's Reddit post, people started getting up early, eating early. Speeches were cut short after he proposed. On top of that, he got the DJ to play him and his girlfriend their song.
Oh, my gosh.
Which incited a whole bunch of couples to do the same. When me and my husband finally got a chance to dance, people were exhausted, didn't pay attention. They instead went to eat. After several hours of this, I told my husband I really didn't want to be there anymore. He agreed. Nobody even noticed we left. 3 days after the wedding, a cousin of mine asked me when we did leave the wedding, and she never got to say goodbye. I told her we left early because nobody was paying attention nor cared enough. Now we're getting calls from all relatives telling us we're immature and we need to lighten up.
No, I'll tell you what. As a father of 2 daughters, I know I'm going to have to pay for 2 weddings.
I'd send a bill.
Oh, if I'm the father of the bride, I get at least half. And if not, I send the mafia after him.
Direct hit, there you go.
That was a direct hit. I sent somebody to...
Yeah, that's bad.
I'll tell you, we'll kill you and make it look like an accident if you don't pay me my money.
I just can't imagine. It's almost like a joke if somebody would hit the knee doing their speech.
I'm from a trailer park, and I know you don't do that.
Right.
You don't do that.
So that seemed like a needless inclusion of you being from a trailer park.
Well, I mean, I'm
just saying they didn't teach Emily Post etiquette in the
rules
trailer
in the
park.
trailer park.
Right.
You don't upstage the bride.
I mean, I grew up in Calhoun County, and I know it. I think it's pretty well known.
Philadelphia Phillies fan and his emotional support alligator Wally were denied entry into last Wednesday's game against the Pirates.
A support alligator?
Yep, see it right there. Now, the fan identified by the Philadelphia Inquirer as Joey Henney arrived at Citizens Bank Park walking Wally on a leash, claiming the nearly 5-foot alligator as his service animal. Now, the stadium's policy on sport animals on the Phillies' official website states certified service dogs or service dogs in training for guests with special needs are welcome. All other animals are prohibited.
It says dogs. It's right there in writing.
I mean...
Yeah, but that's the problem with this whole service animal thing. You know, I mean, it used to be fairly cut and dry, and now it's become broader. Where are we going to draw the line?
This is my service prostitute.
I know exactly.
She makes me feel better.
I mean, you're going to have lawsuits over this stuff.
Do you trust a gator on a leash?
I do not, but if this guy files a lawsuit, you'll probably find a jury that'll let him have it.
And you can't train a gator. I mean, it's a joke. I mean, support animals, especially the dogs. I mean, these are trained animals that know exactly what they're doing.
But people do take advantage of it, is my point. And the more people take advantage of that loophole,
yeah, but you can't really call anybody out on that.
That's my point. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
But you can call somebody out. I mean, this is common sense. Alligator can't be.
There used to be common sense. You didn't take dogs into businesses, and now people do it all the time because we accept it. I'm just saying, the more it goes.
I know your take on dogs.
Listen, it has nothing to do with dogs, Lance. You're mishearing me.
Well, it sounds like your tone is totally like that.
It is not at all. Yeah. I'm saying used to nobody ever took dogs in businesses. Now you allow it because of service animals. I'm just saying.
But people used to not let black people in businesses.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, no. I mean,
exactly alike.
I'm just saying we evolve. I mean,
right.
Just because a rule was a rule back in the day, it shouldn't be a rule anymore.
It shouldn't. And I'm saying we're agreeing here. You're not listening to this. You're not listening to
this. Is this just like our Mike Gundy?
Yeah, you were ignoring numbers then. Now you're ignoring what I'm saying. Is that the more this goes, the more people will be allowed to bring stuff in. And one day it'll be an alligator.
But this is on the sign, nothing but dogs.
Until it gets challenged. And once it gets challenged, it ends up being alligators and parrots and salamanders and snakes and all kinds of things.
We got to use common sense, though.
I agree with you, but I don't know if you are aware of this. The world doesn't use a lot of common sense anymore.
That's very true. 1,800 items are being put up for sale by entertainment memorabilia auctioneer Prop Store at its annual live auction. Now, the head of the Star Wars droid C-3PO could catch up to $1.2 million for that. It looks a little too shiny to be the authentic.
He was just made, man.
He
didn't go through the sandstorms.
That's not the real one?
Yes, it's actual. It's prop used in a movie. You know there's more than one of those things used in the film, so it's one of the props that was used in an actual film.
Well, it does have a dent on the head, so.
Yeah.
It does appear to have a dent.
The light-up head worn by actor Anthony Daniels to play C-3PO in Star Wars New Hope is likely to be the most sought-after. Again, $1.2 million there. They also have items from the Titanic, James Bond, Indiana Jones. Organizers hope the total take for the event, which will take place in London. Now, the bullwhip from Indiana Jones, kind of cool here, $225,000.
I'd like that.
Honey Rider's bathrobe and James Bond, Dr. No. That's when you stopped, or was it Rush of Love?
I made it through the first two.
Okay.
Waiting on the third one.
Yeah, Dr. No was there. $150,000 for that robe.
Not my favorite robe.
Commodus, the arena costume worn by Joaquin Phoenix, $70,000. Very cool.
Would you wear that out in public?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Was that Gladiator?
Seems
Yep.
hot. That is Gladiator.
Yep.
And then finally, Captain America's Hero Shield, $125,000.
Would use that on date night.
Oh, would you?
Yep. Maggie's a big Captain America fan.
What are you shielding away?
Your magnetism?
Yes.
Yes.
I got something I learned last night.
It's not what I'm shielding away. It's what I'm hiding behind the shield, Brown.
There is something. Okay. There is something I learned last night that blew me away. Blew me away. Do you know there is still somebody that's living in an iron lung?
No.
100%. Absolutely 100%. There's one person still alive in an iron lung.
It's not Larry King. He finally passed away.
No,
right?
No. This old boy had polio and has been in an iron lung his whole life, but he's still alive. Can you believe that?
Is he still alive, though?
Well, I mean, his head's still coming out of the iron lung and he can talk, yeah.
What does an
Isn't that
iron
crazy?
lung even look like?
Oh,
it's
it's
like
huge.
It's a massive coffin-looking thing where your head sticks out.
Yeah, it's like, Lance, if you took your water heater and laid it on its side. That's what it looks like. And his head's coming out of the end of the water heater. It breathes for you, man. It kind of like presses your chest and helps you breathe.
What's the price point on an iron lung?
Well, I think they're expensive. But
yeah.
There's only one in use right now in the entire world. And
Oh,
this
there
old
it
boy's
is.
still alive in it. Yep. See?
Well, that's not how he does his day-to-day, does he?
Well, he has to. He can't breathe otherwise. He's an attorney.
I like how they taunt him. That straw
Is he a
nowhere near his
practicing
mouth.
attorney?
I mean, I think you have to go to his place. I don't think he makes a lot of house calls. But
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
But yeah. Isn't that crazy, man? I learned that last night.
Buying a home, major milestone in life. Getting it right comes down to the right advice at the right time. That's why we're proud to partner with our friends at Mortgage Right, who do mortgages the right way. Call them today, 205-815-9200. You can always go online, mortgageright.com/TNR, NMLS 2239, equal housing lender.
All right, LT, I want to see you get a French fry. The great Milo's fry. Grab one. Grab one of these.
No, I want Mexi.
All
I want Mexi.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
I need a fork, though.
I got one.
Shannon, throw you a fork.
Perfect.
Milo's is introducing loaded fries to their menu. We've got them today. The classic crinkle cut fries topped with queso, bacon, and jalapenos. That's the one LT's throwing down right now. That's the Mexi fries.
Oh.
And then you got the 100% pure ground beef, grilled onions, Milo sauce, and queso. That is the saucy fries. That's the one Brownie is woofing
That is
down
correct.
right now.
So good.
I've had a little of both. Love them both. If you download the Milo's mobile app and use the promo code NEXTROUND, you can try one of their new loaded fries for free. So let's go do that at some point over the next couple of days. Put Next Round in the promo code after you download Milo's mobile app and put in Next Round to get a new loaded fries like we've enjoyed here on the air doing trash today. One more bite, Tight Shot LT. Let's go. Wow. Put that on a billboard. Those lips, those fries,
Wow.
that is
My
art.
God.
That is art.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah, 10 to 6.
Yeah.
6 to midnight.
I need that.
Don't try the
flustered.
saucy now, though.
Yeah.
Those are really good.
I need that Captain America's shield all of a sudden. We're back in a moment right here on TNR.
Call the Next Round now at 205-734-0923.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the Next Round hosts a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and bourbon, our weekly college football conversation, while sipping some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, presented by Redmont Vodka. LT has in-depth conversations with personalities like Clay Travis and Taylor Hicks. Find those podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple and Spotify. And remember to like and subscribe.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round. You've heard me for years talk about our friends at Bromberg's Jewelers, and we welcome you to stop by and see that great customer service at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations, but we'd also love for you to check out their new online shop. They've got plenty to choose from. Great gifts, big and small. Available online, they've got David Yurman, Tudor watches, select diamond and gemstone jewelry, William Henry, seasonal and favorite giftware items and baby gifts as well. They've even got an online sale section. For more information, brombergs.com.
Going to a big football game? Walking around all day? Then you'll want comfortable shoes. This is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. Score a touchdown with a new pair of ultra-comfortable running or walking shoes. Come to the New Balance Birmingham store. I'm telling you, we'll make sure you have a perfect fit and we'll treat you like the starting QB. Our job is to make sure your feet are happy. Visit the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. Your feet will thank you.
Start your day online at nextroundlive.com. Get all the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. And it's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Football season is here, and Legacy Credit Card is just what you need to manage your spending safely and wisely. Credit cards offer better consumer protection against fraud when compared to a debit card, which is linked directly to your bank account. Legacy offers rates as low as 8.9% APR on credit cards compared to major card providers who advertise rates as high as 29% APR. Look no further than Legacy. Open a credit card online in minutes at legacycreditunion.com/join. APR's annual percentage rate, rates, and offers subject to change. See website for details. Federally insured by NCUA. No one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference, we have everything from tequila cocktails and an extensive bourbon category to local craft beers and handcrafted whiskey cocktails. And don't forget about that 29-degree man-sized drafts. It's Twin Peaks at the Patton Creek Shopping Centers.
Really thankful for our big Coca-Cola ice cold refrigerator today with these Milo's fries. It's been a delicious combination. Enjoying trash, watching LT work while we devoured those wonderful French fries. Again, the Milo's app, next round the promo code to get the free try at those wonderful loaded fries with our friends at Milo's. We're about to hear from Nick Saban and Steve Sarkisian before their big games in the state of Texas this weekend. But first, let me tell you about Maestro Dobel Diamante Tequila. Completely clear tequila, 100% agave. It's aged in wood barrels from the Balkan region of Eastern Europe. You do all this work and you come up with a robust agave flavor, crystal clear tequila that doesn't taste like any other tequila on the planet. It is the best. You've got to try it. Ask for it by name. It is Maestro Dobel Diamante Tequila. You ask Nick Saban about rankings and you get a little bit of this.
Do you pay much attention to the standings or the rankings at all and with how things are currently shaping up? Are you letting your guys know that everything they want to achieve is still right there in front of them?
Look, we're trying to play one game at a time. We're trying to improve our team. I can't tell you where we're ranked. I can't tell you what the standings are. I think everybody kind of realizes, the importance of every game that we play. So the whole focus is, how can we play better? How can we play good? How can we improve? Not worrying about some outcome-oriented thing that may happen 2 months from now. I'm focused on what am I going to do in the next 5 minutes, the next 30 minutes, the next hour, the next 2 hours, the next 3 hours to help us play better as a team. That's all I care about. And I think that's my job. So we got guys like this guy over here who can do standings and rankings and put a poll together and say who should be this and that. And he's good at that. And I thank him for it. And just less time I have to spend doing it.
Yep. Josh Maxson getting a shout out there as the guy who actually fills out the coaches vote every week for Nick Saban.
We just got 25. The honest admission from a head coach that we don't do this. I do find it hard to believe they don't know exactly where they're ranked.
Oh, I think they do, Lance. Yeah. I think that's a little bit of coach speak from Nick Saban. But, Jimbo Fisher said the exact opposite. Well, not the exact opposite, but Jimbo Fisher embraced the fact. He called this a double whammy game. Like how important it is in the SEC standings because this is a West team you're playing. So if you lose this one, in terms of going to Atlanta, it's a double whammy on you.
Yeah, but these coaches know where they are. I mean, maybe for Nick Saban, because it's all about championships, it is about the big picture. But I guarantee you, Mike Loxley right now is saying we should be ranked.
Meanwhile, double whammy, proving that Jimbo spent most of the 80s watching game shows in the afternoon instead of going to class.
I loved that was pressure luck, the double whammy. I love that game.
Double whammy game. Meanwhile, Steve Sarkisian has the best team Texas has had in a long time. They're unbeaten playing the Red River Shootout this weekend. And Steve Sarkisian gets asked if Texas is the best team in college football. He worked with Nick Saban for a while. How do you think Steve Sarkisian's going to answer it now?
college football, and how does it feel to hear that question 2 years after 5-7?
That's for you guys to answer. I don't have a vote. I'm not in the coach's poll, so I don't have a vote. But some of you in this room do. But anyhow, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, obviously, it's flattering to some degree. The fact that the product that we're putting on the field is one that people appreciate the way that we're playing, and I think our players have earned the respect of some of that feel that way, and hopefully we can continue to do that. But there's a lot of football left this year. We haven't even hit the halfway point. And ultimately, like I've said all along, our goal is to be in Arlington December 3rd and try to win a Big 12 championship. Then whatever happens is supposed to happen. But if we don't do that, everything else is irrelevant. So it really, I hate to say it doesn't really matter where we are today. Where are we at the end of the season when we have a total body of work?
Well, here's the thing, is if they can get past this game, Lance mentioned this earlier, and I don't know if you had looked at the schedule or if you were just saying Texas is good enough to run the table if they can get past this game. Did you say that, Jim? You were the one that said it?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so whoever said it.
Lance has pointed out they were the favorites the rest of the way. Pointing spreads favorites 100% the rest of the way.
Whatever stock you put in the rankings, there is a really good chance after this game, or at least a chance after this game, they don't play another ranked team until they get to Arlington, and then may not. They have got Houston, who's been terrible, BYU, who is not ranked, Kansas State, who's just outside the rankings. That's the one that could sneak in. At TCU, at Iowa State, and Texas Tech.
TCU owns Texas. They do. I know they're not good this year.
Not this year.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
don't know.
Stunned this year.
It's a huge game for both teams, but more for Texas as far as a chance to win the national championship.
Yeah, my question to you guys, if they get past Oklahoma, if they run the table 12-0 and they lose the Big 12 championship, are they still in?
I don't know. It depends on what else happens.
I mean, how are you going to judge the Pac-12 this year? Does a one-loss Pac-12 champion get in because it's been so tough? In my opinion, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I know what you meant by what you said, but I don't know that I agree with exactly what you said there, that it's more important to Texas in terms of the national championship. I don't know that there's a path for Oklahoma.
Only because I don't consider Oklahoma a national championship.
That's what I thought you meant by that.
They're going to lose, if not here, then some point down the road, and maybe in the rematch. Oklahoma's not on the same level as Texas because they don't have the out-of-conference win that Texas does.
Yeah, and Oklahoma still got to go to Kansas. We'll see what Jalen Daniels is doing. They've got to go to Oak State. That should be a win, but it's still Bedlam, and it's going to be really amped up because this is the last Bedlam we're going to see for a long time in Stillwater.
They've owned it, though.
And then they go to Provo, altitude game.
I mean, it's not outside the realm of possibility, though, that this is the first of two against these.
That's right.
Between these teams. I mean, there's a chance that either Oklahoma or Texas has to beat the other one twice to win the Big 12.
Listen, they're all big.
Oh, I know.
But for Texas, they've got that Alabama win. If Alabama still is a 9-win, 10-win, 11-win team, they got that Alabama road win in their back pocket that if they get to a conversation, they've got a chance to be in no matter what because they've got that win against Alabama and they've got the Big 12 championship.
They've got margin for error.
Right.
They can lose this game, and they are still far from out of it.
That's right.
Yeah, they've got margin for error. There's no doubt that Texas does. Oklahoma does it because, to Lance's point, and I'll point out again, they lost the Georgia game. That was supposed to be a game on their schedule, was playing at Georgia this year. So their non-conference is Arkansas State, SMU, and Tulsa. I mean, they don't have a whole lot to show non-conference.
I mean, there are 5 teams in the Big 12 that can control their own destiny. I mean, it's early.
As far as the Big 12 championship?
Yeah, as far as winning the Big 12. And,
one of them is West Virginia. I mean, I don't think they'll do it, but they're still 2-0 in conference.
Champy's Chicken, champyschicken.com, and right there in 119 in Alabaster, great place for lunch or dinner and for your tailgates. You just swing by there, talk to Sterling, his crew, get that cooked to order, Southern fried chicken, Mississippi Delta tamales, and of course, the unbelievable hand-cut chicken fingers, and a lot more right there at champyschicken.com. Final thing today, and coming up in our overtime today, we're getting the original roundtable with LT and Fitzy. That's you don't have to do anything. Just stay right here. We'll bleed right into that. And at the top of the hour, you'll get a nice sampling from yesterday's show where I'm sure you talked a little non-sports too.
Yeah, we did. We got into a variety of things as Ian always takes us down an interesting path.
Okay, so that is coming up. Rockstar, can you pull up the London tunnels from the 1940s? They've just been bought by an independent person who's about to make them a tourist attraction. After the London bombings in World War II, the government quickly built 86,000 square feet of reinforced tunnels to use as bomb shelters underneath. And it's pretty amazing what it looks like underneath there. These are the tunnels of London.
They were like, Germany is always going to be right here next to us, so let's be ready the next time. Huh?
They, by the way, are 130 feet. The roof is 130 feet underground, and they've got 86,000 square feet of tunnels. This is, you see the big cables there. There are phone lines there that kept direct contact with the United States. Over the cables. At one point, it connected the United States and the Soviet Union on the infamous red phone that was connected through the London tunnels to Moscow and to D.C. through the London tunnels.
Isn't it amazing with our technology where it is in 2023, how much better the architect and the building was in Europe back in the day?
Yeah. I mean, the technology that we used to spend a lot of money and time building things that could last forever. This has just been sold, and it's about to become a tourist attraction to where you can actually tour the London tunnels, but also there'll be big screening rooms down there where you can have an immersive experience.
Who can sell this? The city?
London sold it. Some other people have owned it. In fact, right after when the Cold War was going on, that's where the Special Operation Executive worked out of. That was their offices. You know who that is? That's the James Bond people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were based in the London
Is that
tunnels.
MI5?
I don't know.
I know what you're talking about.
But all the Bond stuff. Who wrote Bond?
Ian Fleming.
Ian Fleming. Yeah. He actually worked for the intelligence agency as a part-time, and when he left, that's how he came up with Bond in the books. They were in the London tunnels. That's where their offices were.
Damn, you did a deep dive on this today.
Yeah, it's a nice little story in one of my newsletters. So the London tunnels are now being bought, and pretty soon you can go there. There'll be movie rooms, bars, game rooms, and basically it'd be like Atlanta Underground used to be when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Except it'll literally be 130 feet underground there.
Yeah. Do you have the purchase price?
I don't. I do not have a price there. No.
That's interesting. I mean,
would you want to do that?
I mean, I guess if I was over there, maybe. I mean, I wouldn't go over there just to do it.
I like doing rooftops. I don't know if I like going underground, but maybe.
Well, I've never spent any time in London. I don't think you guys have either.
Nope. I have not.
I've heard it's the best city in the world.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that. I mean, it wouldn't be my first choice, but I've heard a lot of people say that.
Yeah, when I was going over May, I was most excited about that compared to, I didn't care about Paris, but I was going to go.
Oh, I'd rather do Paris than I would London.
Because you're a lover.
That's right. Paris is for lovers.
You nailed it.
Nikki's hotter, though, I think.
Paris, by the way, hired by Elon Musk and X. She's going to do some live shopping stuff.
Oh, good. I'm glad to see her back
Twitter.
at it.
Paris Hilton, all right, yeah.
Paris is back.
Is she comfortable in front of the camera?
She is. She seems to be.
You seen any of those pictures Lunsford was talking about with T Swift?
I have.
Oh, you have now?
Yeah. Okay. Well, he sent them yesterday on Twitter.
Oh, okay. I
didn't see those. All right. Top of the hour.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, there we go. Who is that?
It's T Swift sitting in Kelsey's lap there.
Oh, how about that? That's exactly what LT wanted to see. There it is.
That's right.
Thank you, TMZ.
At a bar.
Thank you, TMZ.
That's one. It's one.
The original Roundtable guys are up next. Don't change anything. You can get all the programming over on Disrupt the Media YouTube channel, Roll Tide Pods, or War Damn Pods for the Village Vice and other stuff. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.
Jim Dunaway.
Time for another edition of the original Roundtable with Ian Fitzsimmons from ESPN. I'm Lance Stetter for the next round. Right here on Disrupt the Media. Like, subscribe, give us that thumbs up. It's always brought to you by MyBookie. Use that code NEXTROUND. Secure first deposit bonus up to 10%. That is at MyBookie.ag. You saw Alabama up close and personal this past Saturday night. I don't know what time you got to bed. I never saw you on Sunday. I saw you on Friday for a quick cocktail. Yeah, I thought Alabama looked good. I don't know what your takeaway from that game was. Will Rogers has got an Alabama problem. He's had it for years. Mississippi State's not that good. Alabama's good. Are they championship good? You tell me what you saw in Starkville Saturday night.
Yeah, I think Kelly Stauffer and LT, it was great to see you, man. Yeah, I wasn't even going to text you on Sunday morning. I mean, we rolled back into the Tripp's place, Tripp Rogers, owner of the Innisfree Irish Pub. We got there about 2 a.m. He was on his front porch playing Christmas carols with his dog Asher. So there you go, right there.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, deep. I mean, yeah, we're getting into the Christmas spirit. I got about 90 days out. Just going ahead and hiking your leg on the pumpkin and the turkey, right? Just
Right,
moving
man. It's
straight on.
October though, of course.
The Christmas stuff's already up at like Home Depot and Lowe's and everywhere else. It drives me insane, LT. But I digress. You asked what time we rolled in. There it was, driving back over from Stark Vegas. But Kelly Stauffer played at Colorado State, played for the Seattle Seahawks for 7-8 years. I mean, he knows the quarterback position, and he made the comment in the third quarter, LT, that we're watching Jalen Milroe grow up before our eyes. And I remember talking to Bill O'Brien, obviously the former OC at Alabama, now with the Patriots, about Milroe when I had Bama last year, and he said he can make the wow play, the slam dunk, the highlight reel. He just has to, with reps, the more repetitions he gets, he's going to be able to learn how to make the layup plays. Now, you don't have to throw it 90 miles an hour for a little slip screen. And you're watching Jalen Milroe start to grow up with every single rep that he gets. So that was number one. Number two, man, J.C. Latham, good God. He doesn't want to block you. He wants to embarrass you. He wants and your family and your dog. I mean, it's just he is an absolute treasure at right tackle. He's going to be a first-round pick, and he plays with an anger to him, as does that team, LT. I mean, I'll pose this back to you because you watched it. But just being behind that bench, I mean, you have the feel that this group doesn't want to be the one that ended the run. Does that make sense?
Oh,
and
yeah.
They're playing with a serious attitude about them. Now, when that number came out against A&M at 2.5, I'm gonna put this to you. You're one of the best handicappers I've ever been around. I got a little bit scared for Bama coming off a very impressive win on the road.
Well, look, I think it comes down to this. Max Johnson, under the lights, how good is he going to be? Jalen Milroe is getting better, but a quarterback that made mistakes, especially in that Texas game, that number's a weird number, and it's been bet down. It opened at 3.5. It's down to 2.5. A lot of sharp money on Texas A&M. Texas A&M, outside of Texas, will be by far the best defense this Alabama offense has faced, and it's on the road. I've never been to Kyle Field. I heard it's loud. I heard it's hot. And it's a place, the last time Alabama was there, they lost.
It won't be that hot. I'm 4 hours from there, living here in Dallas. The temps are actually going to drop this weekend into the high 70s, low 80s. And finally, football weather is hitting the state of Texas. But, man, Kyle Field gets loud. And when they do that damn sway, especially when they're in a dome, obviously they're not at Kyle Field, but I almost want to throw up. It makes me kind of nauseous when you're going back and forth and you watch it on TV in a dome. You're like, man, just get me out of here. But they get after it, dude. I mean, the cadets and the little ice cream, little Lord Fauntleroy boys running up and down the sidelines. That's not the indicator how rowdy that crowd does get. So it's going to be a hostile environment, to your point. But that number scared me. When I saw that on Sunday, I'm going, whoa, wait a minute.
Well,
Bama looked good.
We didn't do our post game till like 1 a.m. because we were waiting till after Alabama, Mississippi State. It's always entertaining. Always entertaining. And since Alabama won, Alabama fans are excited. They'll take a win. It's not like we want to completely dominate, but a 23-point win on the road, they'll take that. I don't know, man. I'm fascinated. When we were asked on the postgame, though, what we thought the number would come at, I said 6.5. And then people were saying it's 8.5. And I was like, damn, that's a big number on the road against A&M. And then we wake up and actually it's 3.5, now down to 2.5. But the number's probably about right. I mean, these are pretty equivalent teams. I mean, you got a coaching, obviously, advantage with Nick Saban. I don't know where you are on the quarterbacks. I think the defense for Alabama is a little bit better, but home field with A&M, A&M's got better playmakers. I mean, it's an evenly matched game.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, man, Chris Braswell, he's making money this year.
Oh, yeah.
He's gone. I talked to one NFC scout going into the game, LT. You mentioned Bama's defense there. I mean, look, he's gone from a 6th-round type pick to a 3rd-round type pick. He's getting better and better. Talk about Milroe with the reps, same thing here. He's been in not just Will Anderson's shadow, but Dallas Turner's shadow. And Dallas is playing better.
I was about to say Dallas leads the SEC now with 5.5 sacks. That stock was 1st round to begin, after a couple of games, especially after Texas, it looked like it dipped down. Is it back up maybe?
Oh, yeah, it's starting to go back up again. Now on the back end, I mean, that same NFC scout told me, Kool-Aid gets all the attention on the right side. Terrion on the other side is also making some money. I mean, people forget he's not a sophomore. He's a redshirt sophomore. I mean, so he could come out if he wanted to, but he's gone from a 6th, 7th round type pick to also a third round, maybe late third round type corner right now. So and Malachi Moore, that dude's a quarterback of that defense. I mean, he doesn't give a damn. There was one moment, and it was late in the third quarter, that he and Dallas Turner really got into it. I don't know if you saw that, LT, but coming off the field, I mean, Malachi was mother-ruined Dallas, and Dallas going back at him. And it wasn't that it was a combative deal. It was more firm encouragement. Like, how did you not see that? So, I mean, it's just two competitors trying to make each other better. And I didn't see that early on with this Bama team. Now it's starting to show up. But again, that number scares the ever-loving hell out of me.
It's the original roundtable with Ian Fitzsimmons from ESPN. I'm Lance Taylor from The Next Round. Like, subscribe, disrupt the media. That is the channel right here. It's presented by Lance's Lock. Jump on board. Coming off another winning weekend. We've won every weekend this fall. We're going to win for you. Lance's Lock.
Well, how did you do that?
We had
no, stop. I'm not letting you go. You're not glossing over that.
I got to sell this, and I sell it every week like that, and it's worked out. I'm knocking on wood. I've got wood right here.
Yeah,
hey, look,
I'm hitting everything for you, man. I mean, good Lord. You had a hell of a weekend again.
Yeah, we shit the bed on Monday night, but look, when you give up 11 sacks and you're the New York Giants, these things happen. Anyway, that's another story, another time. You head to Minneapolis. I had an opportunity to go to that city a couple of years ago, and I was supposed to go to the Nebraska-Minnesota game. And I was excited about it, but the temperatures were like in the 30s. And I'm like, I ain't sitting outside for a Big Ten game that really means nothing. PJ Fleck, that's a polarizing guy. If he's not your coach, most people don't like him. On the other side, Michigan, statistically best defense in college football. I don't have a problem, although they hadn't played anybody, saying they're the best defense in college football. I mean, how does Minnesota manufacture points in this game?
I got nothing for you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you.
Look, this was to the point, LT, where 3 weeks ago I pitched Kentucky, Georgia, going, this is going to be a top 25 matchup, guys. It might be unbeatens on, swap and paint. No faith in Kentucky. What do we have? Unbeatens, top 20 matchup. I mean, so I'm not. I mean, look, Minnesota, and I like PJ Fleck. You're right. He's a little quirky, but I like him. I think he's a heck of a football coach. But this Michigan bunch, I mean, I can't wait to watch them match up with somebody that is really, really good.
No, I can't wait to get your take on the sideline on how comparable Alabama and Michigan will be after you see them. Yeah,
that's a great one. I'm pumped. That is one aspect I'm pumped to watch. And Blake Corum, he and Edwards, man, that's the best running back room in all of college football. Blake Corum is such a great kid. But you mentioned that defense. Think about this, LT. Nebraska was averaging over 230 yards rushing on the ground. Michigan held them to 106. And they were angry about it because they broke the century mark. They have had at least a 14-point lead in like 60-something% of their games. You know how hard that is to have a 14-point lead for over 60% of the football that you've played so far?
Well, and the same
crazy, man.
And somebody brought it up on the show. They were like, they haven't played anybody when I was talking about defense. And I said, I get that, but to hold anybody every week, they hold their opponents to 7 points or less.
Every week. Yeah. And look, UNLV's 4-1. Rutgers is 4-1. Their one loss is to Michigan.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, it's Rutgers and UNLV. I want them to see it. I can't wait for Penn State. I can't wait for Ohio State, which obviously we have to wait a while for. But I like your idea of kind of just comparing body type, attitude, all of that speed with Big Bad Bama, because that is now I've got that on the noggin. I appreciate that because that is something I'm definitely going to do.
That's what we do for each other. Okay, you said quirky and PJ Fleck. Jim Harbaugh is quirky. Who's quirky?
Oh, and not Kirk. No, he's different.
Yeah.
I mean, you remember that people forget about this. It wasn't that long ago where he was doing the satellite camps coming into Alabama, having that camp in Huntsville where he's running around in his khakis without his shirt on.
Yep.
Pasty too, man. Sloppy.
Dude, he was climbing in tree houses. Did that treehouse recruit work out? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't remember, but I remember him climbing the treehouse. I don't know if he signed the guy. And it's not just that. I mean, remember when he's in was it a Lambo or a Ferrari? Who has it better than us? Nobody. I mean, go Google that one and kick back and enjoy.
Amber vision
glasses to Europe and whatnot. I mean, he ain't quirky, man. He's full on different, but it works. And it works to the nth degree.
Have you been to Minneapolis before?
Never. Never.
Oh, it's a clean town. Everybody's super friendly. They love to drink. Vikings game, I went. It was awesome. But they've got a burger. And I think it's a little overrated. I don't know if you've ever had one called a Juicy Lucy.
Oh yeah, I mean I make those, dude. That's where you put the cheese in with the meat.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, but boy, that will burn the hell out of your tongue if you bite in too quickly. Lava.
Every now and then it's okay to break out the knife, right? Just cut that bad boy in quarters. I've heard Lowry's for breakfast is a must, and then Manny's on Main is supposed to have a great steak. I'm a little hesitant going to a new steakhouse because I like to cook my own. I think it's better than anybody else's, unless you're going to like the Lonesome Dove. But yeah, I'm ready, man. You know me, I'm not afraid. I'll get a 3-point stance to attack. Let's go.
I mean, have you, so I was in Auburn on Saturday, and Georgia's not an elite team. At least they weren't Saturday. Now, they might end up being an elite team. They struggled with Missouri last year about the same spot, ended up going undefeated, won another national championship. But have you seen an elite team yet?
No. Yeah, I think Texas, because of the resume, is about as close as we have seen so far. I don't know about Oklahoma. They're a 6.5-point favorite, or a dog coming into this game in the Red River rivalry, which my daughter hit me up for tickets. You know what I did?
A-Tix?
I should have called A-Tix. We used a friend that we know at the Cotton Bowl. So she thinks I paid for them, but I didn't pay for them.
Oh, but she's going. Okay, nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Have you been? I've never been to that game, and it's that ratty-ass stadium.
The Cotton Bowl needs a can of paint. There's no doubt about it. But if you sit on the 50, the people watching is mesmerizing. It's Disney World on crack. I mean, it is absolutely next level because if you ate one eyeball from either fan base on the 50, you're drunk for a week, right? I mean, that's, you look a forehead, you're probably going to go chase a unicorn somewhere, right? I mean, it go next level, and there are fights non-stop. So you wear black, kick back, and enjoy because it's remember like the Iron Bowl used to be, right?
Yeah, well, it's funny. I was going to bring this up.
I wish the Iron Bowl still was 50-50, but that's another topic for another day, man. But I mean, yeah, this one goes next level, and it is absolutely spectacular.
I was walking from the Auburn Hotel to the tailgate we were at, and I was walking over with a couple of couples, and one of the guys grew up in Birmingham, and he was, when we get this age, I guess we just assume we're like 30. And so this dude was like 30, and I was talking to him, and he was like, you guys used to play at Legion Field, right? When you were at Bama. And I'm like, yeah, we used to actually – the fraternity, I'll never forget this, the first weekend, I think the first Alabama game was Southern Miss, I think, when we were freshmen.
Yeah, that's correct. You're right.
Yeah, and I did not make it. I stood up my date. I did because the band party the night before, being a pledge, we were up till like 7 cleaning, and they were supposed to pick up the date at like 9 a.m., and I wake up, it's almost kick time, and I've completely stood up this chick. But I told him we used to get on the bus at the back of the fraternity house, and we'd take it to Birmingham.
Yeah, with your pint of bourbon, right, and your Sprite, and just roll on over. And then we went next level, man. My senior year, it's amazing you and I are still here on this planet. But we actually got do you remember the Town Motel behind the Old Gray Lady? It's this rat hole, heroin crack hole, right? I mean. And we would get a room just so you go to the bathroom. And about 6 of us would park at the Town Motel. And when we rolled in, it was like, what in the hell are these people doing here? And you went into the room and you had like the burn marks on the on the windows. So
yeah, hey, there was no smoking or non-smoking. It was all smoking.
Every bit of it was smoking. I mean, it was, and we look back on that going, what in the hell were we thinking? And we weren't. We were the ultimate example of the invincibility myth. Ain't nothing gonna happen.
Hey, one of the last times I was down there, I think me and you had gone to the Birmingham Bowl, and we walked across the street to the Tide and Tiger. I think you were maybe. And their special that day. Do you remember what the special was?
I can't. It was like some green drink or something, right?
No, it was a blue motherfucker is what they had. It was on the marquee. You don't remember that? It was on the marquee.
And
I was
you
like,
just saw me cringe. It wasn't because you dropped the F-bomb, which you're allowed to do here. Hey, man, I'm a guest. You go right ahead. You want to drop a mother real on some folks, but
I couldn't.
Yes, I remember that.
That was the last time that I've been to a game, and I think that was the only time I've ever been to the Tide Tiger. Yeah, but so would you compare Legion Field in its last days that we were there, what you've got right now in Dallas with that stadium?
No, Cotton Bowl's still nicer. It
Okay.
is. And it's in the state fair. I mean, go get you a Fletcher's corny dog. See some carnies, talk about people watching, and go enjoy one hell of a football game. It is one of the more unique settings in all of football. And I told my daughter Rowan, I said, look, kicks at 11. You want to get there at 9. And she looked at me like I had a third eyeball just pop out in the middle of my forehead. I went, no, yeah, you want to get down there around 9 o'clock to watch the team buses show up. I mean, then if you want to go and hit the fair for a minute, but be in your seat by about 45 minutes before kick, because you want to see all the pomp and circumstance. She's a senior. She's never seen it before. That's why I'm going to take it all in. That's why I love those unique games, LT.
Yeah.
And heck, right now, you and I, we will settle for just on-campus games like we had with Texas and Alabama the last 2 years. We need more of those, not the made-for-TV, week 1 kicks where it's at a neutral site. And I love those games also, but Ohio State, Notre Dame. I mean, we need more of our best teams going campus to campus and swapping paint because it's that much better.
You want to hear the ultimate flex? Brett Yormark, who's ready to get Texas and Oklahoma out of the Big 12.
Oh, yeah.
He's not going to that game. You know who is going to that game?
Greg Sankey.
I
love it. Sankey. And you know what? Knowing Greg as well as we do, I mean, he's the most powerful man in collegiate athletics. He's a brilliant mind, and he truly does have the best interest of the game. That's front and center for him. He didn't call Texas and Oklahoma. They called him. What is he supposed to do? Not take them? Are you kidding me? I mean,
look,
hell,
he knew what was coming.
World right now. If
you know what's coming. Why not take two of the biggest brands out there?
Yeah, man. The Pac-12 is wearing milk-bone underwear. I mean, but bottom line, so he finds out Yormark's not going. Okay. Well, might as well fire up the jet, baby. I mean, he's going to be roaming the sidelines with his chest out like a boss, and I love it. Absolutely love it.
About to ask you a ridiculous question, and 5 weeks ago, if I would have asked this, everyone would have laughed, but I don't think people will laugh nearly as much. After I tell you real quick about MyBookie, use that promo code NEXTROUND, mybookie.ag. Football season is here. Winning season is here. You're going to get that bonus when you put in the code NEXTROUND at mybookie.ag. Who wins a college football playoff game first, Lincoln Riley or Deion Sanders?
Boy, that would have been, I'd have laughed you right off the face of the earth 5 weeks ago.
Dude, I was at our tailgate. I did a USC takeover at the tailgate before the Georgia game. And it was 34-7. And I said, okay, here we go. Everybody's making fun of this defense. We can get after the quarterback. The pressure has been on Sanders. And then they started rolling. And it comes down to an onside kick. And I'm like, what the hell? This is the exact same USC defense I saw last year in year 1 under Lincoln Riley.
Yeah, I think you and I talked a little bit about this when I woke you up from your nap on Friday.
True story, by the way.
True story. Dad needs a nap, baby. I mean, we aren't 30 anymore. I mean, that's the bottom line. But look, Alex Grinch's guys are in position to make plays. You and I have talked about this. The defensive coordinator there at USC, he was great at Washington State. He was tremendous at Ohio State. That's why Lincoln Riley went and poached him at Oklahoma, brought him to SC. It's just that, I mean, they're in position. They're just not making the damn play, LT. So I didn't see a lot of that USC-Colorado game because, we were on the road over to Starkville and then obviously had the game. But, man, you're up big like that and end up having to squeak out a 48-41 nail-biter. You got to go back to the drawing board. But LSU, I mean, I know they're missing Greg Brooks, but damn, Lance. And look, man, thoughts and prayers, because I think we're still waiting to hear on the biopsy. But he was kind of the quarterback, like we're talking about Malachi Moore of Alabama. He was the quarterback of the back end of that LSU defense. And right now, they're doing some soul searching because you give up a 50 spot with all. I mean that burger had all the fixings on it, right? I mean, applewood smoked bacon, sharp cheddar cheese, fresh jalapenos. It was ugly, and you're giving up 50, and you don't even go to overtime.
Yeah, if you would have told me that Ole Miss was going to commit 11 penalties, they were going to give up 49 points, and they were going to give up almost 650 yards to LSU, I would have said LSU wins this game by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I'm shocked.
Played his ass off again, man. They got to get that other side of the ball figured out because right now, they're barring a miracle and just ridiculous cannibalism in front of them. Clemson's eliminated. LSU's eliminated from college football playoff contention. And I really, really liked LSU on long odds. I think I got him at like 30-1 just to make the college football playoff.
Yeah, I had them winning the national championship again. Now, when you pick a national championship winner, it's rolling the dice.
Oh yeah.
But so Kentucky against Georgia this week, though. This is one of those intriguing games. Now, I think the money's coming on Kentucky because you're getting 14.5. But I still, this is one of those that I would tread lightly on.
Dude, I'm not going near this game with your money, and you've been on fire. I mean, speaking of that USC Colorado game, I mean, the total was what, 73? You're like, take the over. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. I don't like
I said
it,
I needed
okay.
21 out of Colorado. I didn't realize I'd get what I got out of Colorado. But
I mean, that was pretty amazing. But yeah, bottom line, man, I'm not going near this one because Kentucky can either show up and knock the ever-loving hell out of you, or they play you just horribly and undisciplined football. So, and like I like Kentucky a lot. I think Mark Stoops has been one of the smartest coaches in all of college football not to leave. I know for a fact there were several schools, one being in the ACC, that came to try and get him and almost double his money. And you know what? He stayed. Why? Because he's freaking Elvis, Jim Morrison, Jimi Hendrix all wrapped into one there right now. I mean, he's doing a hell of a job. But this one scares the heck out of me because I thought that number would come in around 10 or 11 after what they did to Florida and what Georgia didn't do at Auburn. And it came in at 14.5. No, man, I'm not going near it.
Yeah, but you might get value. You know, this is almost Georgia is the new Alabama. So their numbers are always going to be inflated. The Georgia team that I saw in the first half against South Carolina, the Georgia team I saw in person last weekend, that's not the Georgia team we've seen the last couple of years. And I think more an indictment just on where we are in college football and how much parity we have with a lot of balance with the transfer portal and NIL.
What time's your post-game show, by the way, this weekend? You got daytime ball, right, with both. What time's the kick on Kentucky, Georgia?
So Kentucky, Georgia, 6 o'clock. We'll probably, what do we have? Auburn's got a bye. We'll probably go post Alabama A&M, probably around 6:30.
Oh, that's early then. It's nothing like last week. Because I forgot to ask you, what was the most entertaining aspect of that very entertaining show hitting the air at 1 o'clock in the morning after an 8 p.m. kick?
I remember texting the guys on the way back saying I probably shouldn't do the show just because we were out. I was on a boat ride literally at 3:30 a.m. Saturday morning before getting up at 8:30 and heading back to Auburn from Lake Martin to tailgate all day. I sat in the sun, direct sun.
Oh,
I usually leave games at halftime. I stayed for the full 4 quarters and went back and hung out a little bit. And then we finally came back to Birmingham. And I was just like, man, it's been like a long 48 hours. I probably shouldn't do the show. So it was late night. I don't know, a lot.
Can somebody send me a copy, just like your highlights? Give me a 2-minute sizzle reel of LT, 48 minutes, knee deep at 1 a.m. for postgame.
I'll tell you, the postgame were more fun last year because we had bigger crowds and we had somebody that would sing every week. And so you had your serious people that were tuning in that would get completely pissed off, and Brown has to mute my mic when I'm not talking the whole time. And then you had the other people that would tune in just to see what was going on, the chaos at Club LT. Because you would just have random people, staggering around. You'd have somebody pass out in the corner, and I'd always do the shot. You had Vishlas jumping around. I mean, it was pretty wild back in the day. But we can bring that back.
Rockstar and Ryan Brown trying to keep everybody in line, right? like herding cats, and he right there at Club LT trying to do a serious post-game show. I'm in.
Okay, so tell me how the traveling typically works for you this time of year. You leave on Thursday night or Friday morning for the coaches' meeting?
It all depends on coaches' meetings. Why are you getting all serious on me right now? But yeah, I mean, do you really care about this?
I've got a point to this. Yes.
Okay. All right. There had to be a second follow-up question.
Yeah.
So it all depends on if I have an NFL game. Like 2 weeks ago, I had UCLA, Utah, then a red-eye to New York for Patriots at Jets. Then came home and just sucked my thumb in a fetal position for 2 days. Last week, just to see, you, Tripp, Macker, see some old friends, went by Odie, saw Will Haver, the double deuce, Brian Pasek. I mean, just to see some old friends. I left Thursday. We had coaches meetings on Friday morning with the Alabama staff, and then went and saw you on Friday afternoon and came back on Sunday morning. So, I mean, it all depends if I have an NFL game. This week, I'm traveling on early Friday morning, sitting down with PJ Fleck on Friday afternoon, Harbaugh does not do pregame interviews, as you can only imagine. That's why I'm talking to Blake Corum later this week. Oh, I love that dude. He's country strong too, man, and a great kid. So then I'll fly back on Sunday. So there you go. It kind of varies as to whether I have an NFL game and when coaches' meetings are, and if I have friends in the area where I can steal a day and
Well,
go see some folks.
You're fortunate too. You lived in Birmingham for a bit, and flying out of Birmingham is a pain in the ass because you have to get connectors everywhere. Dallas, you guys fly directly everywhere. Hey, so are you obligated? This was going to be my question, and I know you like the team that you work with, but are you obligated to do all your meals with those guys?
Not obligated, but I'll tell you this. That is a good question because we value the Friday meal almost as much as the game. Now, our older crew with Barrett Jones, obviously 3-time All-American national champ at Alabama, Sean Kelly, now the voice of the Gators. The meal on Friday, we would talk about the previous Thursday. It was like a scouting report to the next week.
Who picks it?
I do every time.
Okay.
I mean, like Wisconsin. We were in Wisconsin 2 years ago. So I called my buddy Mark Tauscher, who's a great guest for you all. I mean, Tauscher is amazing. Green Bay Packer Hall of Famer, offensive lineman with Aaron Rodgers and the boys, does a show up there. I mean, he is hilarious. He told me about the tornado room. I'm like, man, I don't want a steak.
Dude, the tornado room, it sounds like
on the road, right?
Sounds like a strip club.
No.
It does.
Hell no.
We're going to the tornado room.
Irresponsible thing you can do. And I ain't eating food at a topless lizard joint. Never going to happen. No.
But I'm saying the tornado room sounds like a strip club.
I thought you were saying go to.
No,
instead of
hell
the
no.
What? No, hell no. The tornado room, man, they brought out a tomahawk ribeye that would drop a donkey. I mean, it was amazing. So, yeah, we value that Friday meal, man. Right now we're looking at Manny's on Main Street in Minneapolis. I already got breakfast lined up at Lowry's for Saturday morning. We got a late kick. I told you about Lubbock, Texas, man, where we started meat sweats on Saturday morning. They wouldn't join me for dinner at the Pancake House. I'm like, I got to go try this place. It's been here since 1930. I only had one pancake and like one little piece of patty sausage they make right there. And that was it. And I was done. But yeah, I love the Friday night meal is an integral part of the game experience. I mean, it's like 1B to the game.
Okay, I'll end on a serious question. You brought the fact. Well, we don't have to, but Clemson and LSU are pretty much done.
Yeah.
Alabama A&M losers going to be done. We say that, but do you get a sense with as much carnage as we've got coming in the month of October and November that a 2-loss gets into the college football playoff?
I can see it.
Yeah.
I mean, I talked about it last night. I mean, LT, yeah, I could not. I hate agreeing with you. It's more fun when we disagree, but yeah, I'm in step because look, the Pac-12. They're going to devour each other over the next 5 weeks. Have you seen some of those schedules out in the Pac-12?
Oh, God. I mean, my Trojans have got Oregon and Washington back to back.
I got that Utah game coming up in a few weeks. And Utah's going to get some guys healthy, man. Watch out.
If Keithy and Rising come back, I mean, they're a legit championship contender, but I mean, how much more can they miss and they keep winning? I mean, obviously they didn't win Friday night. But you just wonder where the
16 of their top 44 guys.
That's
16.
Crazy. Yeah.
And they were still undefeated going into that game.
Do you think we see Cam Rising?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, at some point. But yeah, I do. And Keithy. Keithy's a hell of a player. And like they got to get their center back. I didn't see if he was back going back to Friday night's game against Oregon State. They're just so banged up. But to your point, they're going to get healthier. They're not going to get worse. I mean, and they're going to be a team to be reckoned with. So if you have 2 losses with a lot of meat still left on your schedule on that bone, speaking of like tomahawk ribeyes, I mean, yeah, you still have a legit shot. I would not be surprised at all if a 2-loss team made the playoff.
The original roundtable every week right here on Disrupt the Media. Like, subscribe, give us a thumbs up with Ian Fitzsimmons from ESPN. I'm Lance Taylor from the Next Round. Safe travels. Enjoy Manny's on Main.
Hold on. One quick question. Would you actually eat, say, I don't know, fish tacos at a topless lizard joint?
So I've only eaten at 2 strip clubs ever. One was, they used to call it the Ballet on Spring Street, the Spring Street Ballet, the Cheetah, when I did a show from there way back in the day. And that was in Atlanta. And then the other was in Birmingham. Remember we had to eat at the Furnace that night when we were about to do live endorsements?
Rockstar's dad called me and yelled at me. I'll never forget it.
Yeah, because you called him a name on the air.
We're not going there. It was innuendo. I was joking.
I know. I remember when you got that call.
Yeah, you ordered salmon. I was like, I ain't eating salmon.
I didn't order salmon.
Somebody did.
I didn't order salmon.
Someone did, and I was not about to eat it.
I don't eat salmon. I sure as hell don't eat salmon in the strip club, but I don't eat it to begin with. Okay, safe travels. You be good.
I'll see you, buddy.